Okay, good evening everybody. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa pag-join in tonight's webinar. Welcome to the event of GEG Ortigas and GEG South Manila called Let's Start the School Year Right, Tips for Educators in the New Normal. Ayan po. So I have here with me Sir Gary. Ayan.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Guy Garcia from GEG Ortigas. Good evening po. Please make sure to ask question later as we discuss some tips on before opening of classes or what we should do as teachers. Yun po, no? Huwag po kayo mahiya magtanong. Magandang gabi
Ayan
po.
po. Magandang gabi. So ayan po. So our first speaker, ayan, si Sir Gary Garcia. Pakilala po ako ulit. So ako po si Adrian Luc Cruz. Nalimutan ko, no? I'm Adrian Luc Cruz and I'm the GEG leader for South Manila. I'm also an EdTech coach and Google Certified Innovator. Then, marami po tayong makakasama ngayong gabi. So, um, next po is Miss June B. Maog. So she's a Google Certified Educator Level 1 and Level 2. Also a senior high school teacher teaching physics and earth and life science. So I'll call in Miss
Tawagan na natin
June.
siya.
Ayan, good evening Miss June.
Good evening po. Good evening everyone. Sir Gary, Sir Adrian, good
Good
evening.
evening,
Ayan
Miss
po. And then we
June.
have Mr. Alvin B. Balaba. So he's also a Google Certified Educator Level 1 and Level 2. He's an Araling Panlipunan teacher, economics teacher from Santo Niño National High School and also a core member of GEG South Manila. Ayan po. So Sir Alvin, magandang gabi po.
Good evening, Sir Alvin.
Good evening,
Ayan.
sir.
Sir Alvin, naka-mute ata kayo. Ayan.
Ayan,
Ayan.
okay na sir, narinig po.
Yes.
Good evening,
Can hear
teachers,
now.
Miss June, Sir Gary, Sir Adrian, and to all the teachers na viewers po natin, magandang gabi po.
Ayan, magandang gabi. And our last speaker for tonight would be Miss Paula Cortez. She's actually also a Google Certified Educator Level 1, Level 2, an EdTech and IT specialist for Cornerstone Academy, and also a new leader for GEG Ortigas. So I'll call her in, Miss Paula.
Hello, good evening
Good
everyone.
evening, Miss
Good
Paula.
Good evening, Miss
evening.
Paula.
Ayan. So meron tayong mga virtual palakpak, no? So bagong subok ko yan. Okay. So ayan po, kompleto na tayo, no? I hope everyone's here. Sa mga nanonood po, maraming salamat po sa pag-join. Simulan na natin.
Yes.
So for tonight, marami tayong mga gustong pag-usapan, no? Marami tayong mga pag-uusapan na preparations or mga last minute reminders, tips for the teachers dahil alam natin na malapit na mag-open ang school year. Ayan po. No, Sir Gary,
Yes,
sa
oo.
inyo po kailan mag-start ang school year?
Saang school? Depende sa
Ay,
school yan. With my other school, I think will start on September, and the other one will start on August 24. Yan.
ayan po. So sa mga nanonood po, so bali kami po ay galing sa iba't ibang mga schools. So may mga schools kami na hina-handle and also
Yes.
we're part of the school na from
From
different
north to
schools.
south.
From north to
Oo
south.
nga.
Ayan. So meron tayong
Oo.
From north to south.
private school. Ayan.
And public
May
school.
may representative
State University,
tayo sa State
Basic Ed.
University, Sir Gary, sa
Yan.
public school, kay Sir
Present,
Alvin,
sir.
Catholic school, kay Miss
Present.
June, and
Present.
SPED and inclusive school, tama?
Yep.
Miss Paula, ayan. So yan po. Let's start, no? So, meron tayong mga pinrepare na questions na pag-uusapan, and then for our audience, bali, just type in your questions in the comment section, and then later on sasagutin natin 'yan isa-isa. And then in the middle portion ng ating webinar, we'll also be inviting you to be part of this session. Ayan, so merong audience participation maliban sa pag-comment. Ayan.
Yes.
So for our first question or first topic, I think this is actually a broad one. What aspects should teachers prepare for online teaching? That's the first question.
Mm.
Ay, marami yan.
Oo. Medyo no, medyo
Broad
medyo
siya.
broad siya. So
Mm.
I
Mm.
think marami tayong pwedeng maihain sa table.
Mm.
Siguro
So,
I'd like to ask sige Sir Gary.
siguro, in what aspect? For example, yung technical know-how ng mga
Mm.
teachers. Kasi, alam naman natin lahat tayo ay na-force bigla na mag-online teaching. So, technical aspect, it means yung how are the teachers aware of how to manipulate the computer aside from teaching kasi yung topic mo, yung content mo, hindi lang yun ang concern mo, kundi pag-manipulate. Ikaw na yung director, ikaw pa yung guest, ikaw pa yung speaker, ikaw na lahat-lahat, ano? Mas swerte yung ibang teachers na ang setup ay sa school sila papasok kasi meron silang assistant. Kumbaga merong technical
Yeah.
person who will manipulate the switching of screens, ano? So,
Mm.
if you're teaching from home, it will be a bit different. Medyo ikaw dapat alam mo lahat. Ayan. So,
Yes.
marami, yun, isa technical. Ano pa
Mm.
ba? So, yung manipulation lang ng mga tools na gagamitin online, it's a big, ano na eh, a big prepared ba ang teacher o hindi? Isang factor na yan, no? To say that the teachers
Mm.
are prepared. Yan.
Mhm.
So, sino pa ba iba?
Ah.
Miss June, Miss Sir Alvin, Miss Paula, what other aspect, aside from technical, what do you think? Para masabi
Ako
yung
po,
prepared teacher.
ay sige po.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sige,
Miss
June?
Sir Alvin. Ayan.
Ayan.
Ako po,
Ayan. Sir Alvin.
siguro po, tama po yung mga nabanggit ni Sir Gary na yung skills ng teachers also, that's very important. Pero in my experience, ako po, una ko po talagang pinaghandaan yung working environment. Yun nga po, malalayo tayo sa ating classroom. So, I am that type of person na kapag nasa bahay po talaga, ang nasa mindset ko lang palagi, magpahinga. And kapag nasa school, doon lang talaga ako nagtatrabaho, nag-finish ng mga paperworks. Pero since we are moving towards distance learning, March pa lang po, bumili na ako ng office table na nilagay ko sa kwarto. Tapos nag-invest ka na rin sa ilaw para kapag if ever na meron kang online classes that so your students can see you, they can see us. Naglagay din po ako ng, you invest on a much faster internet device, internet provider po na medyo mas stable compared to what we usually have before. Nag-upgrade po ako ng aming internet speed para kapag kailanganin ako for, actually I did that in preparation sa mga webinars pa lang po namin in depth ed, and mas magagamit ko na po siya for the coming months na kapag nakasama ko na po yung mga bata. So in my case, teachers, doon po talaga ako naghanda talaga initially sa working environment and sa mga equipments and materials na gagamitin ko para sa distance learning.
Yan.
Thank you, Sir Alvin. I think ang dami nun. But mamaya, oo.
Isa-isahin natin siya.
Mamaya mapag-usapan din natin pag lumalim-lalim pa yung yung internet speed, no. I think
yes, sir.
ayun sa mga laging tanong, ano ba yung requirement? Ano ba yung sapat na speed para sa mga teachers, no? Miss June.
Sige, Miss June, how about you?
Ako po, agree din po ako with both Sir Gary and Sir Alvin. Tama po yon, yung yung technical preparation, no, for teachers, very important. That's one thing. The other is yung preparation po of the materials that we will be using, the equipment. Ano po, kami po ni Sir Adrian, we use an extra monitor. Yun. Isa rin po yun sa mga bagay na nakatulong sa amin when it comes to training online. And I think the thing that I would like to focus on, the aspect that I think teachers should really focus on is yung how to deliver our lessons. No, considering that we need to shift yung face-to-face to online. Medyo mahirap po kasi, di ba po, iba po yung kaharap mo sila at iba yung nandun ka lang sa harap mo yung gadget mo, yung laptop mo, and you don't even know if your students are with you or in the same page as you. So yun po yung parang pinag-iisipan ko. So how can I engage my students, and how can I keep them motivated to listen to me as I teach them online? So that's the main.
And how you will manage them, right?
Yes
Kasi
po, yes po, sir. How I will be able.
no?
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Kasi sa harap nga, face-to-face, medyo mahirap, especially if the class is big. Ano po? Pero pagka online, di ba, we have heard a lot of webinars saying na dapat small size lang. So, tingnan po natin whatever will happen this coming school year.
Yeah.
Ayun po.
Miss Paula.
Yeah, ako naman, it's really also more on the curriculum na gagamitin. Because, we should realize that the online curriculum is so much different from the classroom curriculum then. Na hindi porket meron ka ng... Kasi tayo mga teachers, di ba, favorite natin yung i-reuse natin yung mga nagamit na natin last year.
Yeah.
Para then at least, para gumaan yung life natin when we teach, and we could focus more on how the students are learning. But then, one of the aspects talaga that we prepared, no, lalo na ngayon, magtuturo kami online, is how do we engage and how do we transform yung MELCs na tinatawag, yung mga most essential learning competencies na binigay ni DepEd to the teachers. How do you transform that into something that is more engaging, something that is more relevant? So, and yun nga, kasi nabanggit nyo na rin yung mga technical aspects. So aside from that, it's also with the curriculum. Hindi siya madaling gawin. So yun. I might preempt myself. Pero wina-warningan ko na kayo, guys. Hindi siya madaling gawin. But it's doable.
Yes.
Yes.
Challenge kasi ngayon yung creativity natin because it's all online, no?
Yes,
How do we
right.
balance the online at the same time the activities that we will give to our students, no?
Correct.
Ayan. Okay.
Mag-ask
sir,
din ako
go ahead.
regarding dun sa mga nabanggit, no? Sobrang valid talaga ng mga aspects po na nabanggit ninyo. The other one also, gusto ko din i-comment yung mga schools, no, na talagang nag-effort at nagbigay ng time and budget to really have their teachers trained. So isa talaga yun sa mga I think important aspects
Yes.
in
sir.
online teaching, kasi lahat
Correct.
tayo ngayon we have to do it we have to
Yes.
Yes.
rapidly shift to this one. Dati optional, ngayon wala tayong choice we really have
Yes,
to
no
do it.
choice.
So talagang
Everyone is forced to do it.
oo. So
Correct.
Yes.
Oo.
kaya sa
Forced
mga
Sa
talaga.
ayaw at sa gusto mo,
Tama.
mag-online ka.
Opo, kaya talaga sa mga administrators, school heads,
Yes.
na
Yeah.
thank you
Agree.
po. Huwag po kayong
Correct.
Yes, thank you
virtual
po.
handshake, no? Kasi talagang kailangan ng mga
Feeling ko deserve nila Sir Adrian ng malakas na clap.
Oo nga.
Oo nga, oo
Kaya-
nga.
Ating mga
Ayan.
school administrators.
Ayan.
Yan.
Talagang talagang kailangan nun Ang hirap talaga na isalang din natin yung mga teachers without like
Preparing them.
proper training,
Yes.
Or
Yes,
yun nga,
sir.
at least yun nga, yun. I think that's one.
Yeah.
The other one naman na practice. Napapractice po ito. It's a
Yes.
skill, but usually naman ito pag nasanay tayo, makukuha din natin ito. Siguro dahil
I
ngayon,
think yung comfort din na pwede nating ibigay sa mga teachers na nanonood right now is that all 5 of us started with level 0.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
Hindi
Correct.
naman kami
Yes.
experts agad. And at the same
Mhm.
time, talagang chinaga lang din namin matutunan because the root here is that we want our students to be engaged in the class.
Mhm.
And nowadays, 'di ba, yung mga estudyante natin, they're digital citizens, they're netizens. I mean, kulang na lang
Mhm.
lumabas sila sa mga nanay nila nang may hawak silang gadget.
Mm.
So,
Yes. Mga
'yon, 'di
digital
ba?
natives, miss.
Correct.
Yes.
Oo.
Ayan po. So, ayan, unang tanong pa lang po 'yan ano, pero ang dami
Oo.
tayong
Malaman na
narinig
yung
at
discussion.
malaman, oo. Siguro let's flash the next question.
Okay.
Okay, ready na po ba? Okay.
Yes.
Next would be, how do we set up our working environment? I think medyo na
Na-touch
bigyan
na
na
rin
tayo
siya.
ng konting
Ngayon,
Sir
magbigay tayo ng
Alvin about
details, ano?
this. Siguro this time we go in detail. Siguro start na tayo ulit kay Sir Alvin.
Yes, sir. Sa ito po yung siguro yung tip na may bibigay ko. As much as possible, dapat mas malayo sa kama. Kasi when it's near your bed, it's easy to feel lazy and go to bed instead of working. Pero
Yung
siguro
temptation,
po,
no,
I
sir?
can also suggest that sa mga students din po natin na as much as possible, you try to work far from your bed para hindi ka mabilis tamarin and mabilis na antukin
Oo.
as much as possible. Lalo na po sa
Mhm.
weather natin ngayon, talagang ang
Yes, masarap
nakaka
matulog.
medyo
Very
counterproductive
true.
ng konti. Masarap matulog, magpahinga, pero yun nga po, rainy season na yung mga darating na buwan, so siguro isa din po yun. And also, it would help really kung meron kang a table where you can work comfortably. You can lay all your materials, all your
Yeah.
equipments na ginagamit ninyo. And also, siguro pwedeng medyo mas malapit sa kitchen ng konti para pag nagutom ka, pwede kang kumuha ng mga chicha para hindi ka rin nantukin talaga while doing your task. And siguro isa din po na mahalagang tandaan natin when we set up our cooking environment, let's find a conducive place
Mm.
na matatapos po talaga natin yung trabaho natin, na we can work in peace, na hindi tayo magugulo
Yeah.
ng anybody around uh, the house, or yun po, yung as much as possible hindi rin malapit sa mga source ng ingay para hindi rin tayo
Mm.
ma ma-distract and whatsoever.
Mag-stop. Yes. Yan. Ako
Yes, teacher.
naman.
Yes, Sir Gary.
During when I train schools, lagi kong sinasabi sa kanila, you have to look for a working environment or a working place at home na free from traffic. Katulad ng sinabi mo na walang ingay,
Mm.
isa yon. Pangalawa, well ventilated. Kasi swerte tayo kung meron tayong aircon, ano? Pero magastos yun, ano? So kung syempre hindi naman lahat ng teachers may aircon sa sa bahay, yung near the window para pati yung lighting mo, yung itsura mo kitang-kita ka, hindi ka against the light, pati yung framing,
Yes, sir.
yung mga pa-selfie-selfie
Mm.
natin dati ngayon, we have to consider these things kasi alam natin na nakikita tayo ng estudyante natin ngayon dun sa ating camera. So we have to look good,
Right.
that's number one. Second, we have to be comfortable. Third,
Yes, sir.
we have to smile kasi doon sa working environment natin, makikita yung mood natin. If we're not
Mm.
comfortable, if we're not comfortable with our working place, yung sa ating table, yung sa ating setup, you might emit a negative energy. And kaya nga pinupuri ko yung mga preschool teachers kasi when I train, ang ganda ng tono nila. Kasi hindi lang yung itsura natin, pati yung tone of voice natin, we have to consider that to engage our students. So, a lot of
Mm.
things, aside dun sa technical know-how mo na magmamanipulate, magde-deliver ka pa ng lesson, pati yung tone mo kailangan din okay. Pati yung lighting mo kailangan okay din, no? So,
Mm.
the working environment is very important because it will set your mood and the mood of your class, which will make a successful class encounter na mga 30 minutes man yan o kung gaano man kahaba yan. So, a working environment is important. So, how do I do that? For a teacher, to be comfortable, I have, katulad ng na-mention kanina, I have extended monitor. I connect my laptop to my TV para yung slide ko nandun sa laptop, no? Tapos yung
Ano din ba yan, Sir Gary? Para hindi ka matempt manood ng TV?
hindi yun. Kundi para makita ko yung slide ko at the same time nakikita ko yung students ko. Kasi if you're just using, teachers, take note, if you're only using your laptop, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I want to be more, I want to see how the students are doing while I'm saying something, while I'm delivering my lesson. So how can I do that if I have to switch windows? Ayoko maging concern yung switching ng window. So ang ginawa ko, meron akong extended monitor. So yung TV sa bahay, wala nang ganun nanonood kasi tuwing may training, walang nanonood. Ako lang gumagamit ng TV, no? Kasi doon ko sila nakikita. At the same time, nakikita ko yung slide ko. Parang 'di ba in a normal classroom, nasa front ka, nakikita mo lahat sila. So ngayon, nakikita ko lahat sila using an extended monitor. Tapos yung slide ko nasa harapan ko sa laptop. So that's my setup at home. So I have to use, ayun, katulad ni Sir Alvin, nag-invest siya sa maraming bagay. So, ayun, meron tayong adapter, yung mga HDMI cable.
Siguro
Ayan, yung
magandang
TV.
mabanggit din natin yung mga binili natin recently
Hindi pa
para
ako bumibili.
ma-enhance ang ating ang equipment
Sige.
natin.
Hindi pa ako bumibili ng ring light. Wala kasi, baka may magregalo, no? Ayun, kasi, ayun, TV, HDMI cable, adapter for HDMI para makonect niyo yung laptop niyo sa TV. So, yun yung essential para medyo komportable kayo habang nagtuturo. Kasi, pwede namang laptop lang pero hindi niyo nakikita yung inyong estudyante kapag nandun sa laptop niyo yung slide niyo, yung dinidescribe niyo, no? So, ayoko nang maging concern yung simpleng switching, it adds stress kasi lalo na doon sa mga
Correct.
tenured teachers natin, ano, na kailangan mag-switch window. So, yun. So, mga small things but it will make your life easier when you teach online. So, yun yung aking work environment. Tapos yung framing natin. Framing sa photography, parang halo-halo na kasi yun eh. Bilang teacher, ikaw yung director, ikaw yung host, ikaw yung guest, ikaw yung technical guy, naman. So, ganon. Tapos, cameraman pa, yung ganyan. So, yun yung mga bagay na masasuggest ko na dapat alamin natin mabuti. Kung hindi pa natin nagagawa yun, pag-practicean natin, hanap tayo ng magandang lugar. Kasi lalo na sa may mga asawa, ito yung lagi ko sinasabi, no? Yung working environment natin, importante. Kasi baka mamaya, para tahimik, para walang noise, di ba? Ayun ang ayaw natin mangyari, no? Sa bedroom tayo, no? Katulad ng Sir Alvin. Pero baka mamaya may asawa kayo, mamaya naligo si asawa, hindi niya alam na nagtaklase na kayo sa likod, nakatupis lang or walang damit. Naku, skandalo ito, no? So yun yung ating mga, pag nakita ng estudyante yun, edi, ano na mangyayari? So yung mga simpleng bagay na kailangan nating pag-isipang mabuti. Working space or our working environment.
Yeah.
Yan.
Ayan. Miss June.
Ako po, actually, wala po ako sa working environment, sa normal working environment ko right now. I'm using a different space area in the house right now. Pero ako po, meron po talaga akong dedicated work area, and then sabi nga ni Sir Alvin, it's far from the bedroom para I won't be tempted to just sleep the time away. And it's near the ref para I can just easily get something to munch on as needed. And ang mga binili ko po ngayon, bumili po ako ng computer, yung executive chair, office chair. Ganon. Kasi medyo masakit po pagka matagal na tayong nakaupo tapos nagtitraining tayo or nagtuturo tayo online. So it really helps if you really have a good office chair, no? You rely on. Masakit po sa likod and other, lalo na po sa mga medyo may edad na like myself. So medyo masakit na po kapag you've been seated for a long time. So that's one thing. And I also bought a table, no, that I will a table that's 100 inches po ata yung length niya para all of my extra monitor and my laptop can fit. Bumili rin po ako ng mouse kasi medyo na maalam na yung mouse ko. So, hindi ko po kasi kayang walang mouse. Mas manageable po sa akin kapag I have my own mouse. Bumili rin po ako ng laptop stand para po maganda yung ergonomics ng aking laptop kasi medyo nakaka-contribute sa sakit sa katawan kapag hindi maganda yung ayos ng laptop natin. And then, binili po ako na asawa ko ng ring light but I have yet to use it. Hindi ko po nagagamit yung ring light ko. What else? And I'm still planning to purchase po a document camera so that I have two views. Kasi right now, I'm teaching science, but when I teach math, I'd like to have a document camera para it's just focus on what I'm writing. Kasi medyo mahirap po. Meron din po pala akong tablet.
Miss June,
A
ano yung
tablet,
document
Wacom
camera?
tablet.
Anong, ano,
It's,
parang first time
para
ko lang
siyang,
din na,
parang separate camera siya, sir. So, parang you can toggle yung camera mo, dalawa na. Like, if you're in the meet, dalawa yung camera mo. One for your document and one for you sa gadget mo. So,
so
pag
nakatutok
kailangan
sa
mo,
ano? Sa papel?
yes, sir.
Ganun po ba yun?
Nakatutok siya
Yes.
sa papel.
Meron
Nice.
Ganyan
That's
na
a
daw.
really
Yes,
good
maganda po siya.
gadget yun, ah.
Yes, maganda talaga
Extended
siya, Miss
camera.
Paula. Lalo na for math teachers, lalo na if you want to show. Kasi importante sa math teachers na ipakita yung solution eh. It's not, parang the process is
The
far more
process.
important than the final answer. So, dapat napapakita ng teacher yon, napapakita din sa kanya ng mga estudyante niya. So, yun yung nasa listahan ko of things that I need to purchase in the future. So, yun lang po. Thank
Miss
you.
June, kailangan meron ding stand, no? Tripod
Yes po.
or something to hold it para hindi
Pwede
mo
rin.
hawak-hawak mo tapos nagsusulat kang ganun. Hindi pwede ganun.
Meron na po siya,
Yeah.
Sir Gary.
Okay.
Maganda na po yung design niya. Talagang it's
That's
really
great.
designed for the camera to be focused on whatever you're writing.
That's good.
Tapos meron din pong, I saw one, hindi ko na sasabihin yung kung saan. Meron pong stand lang ng camera. So if you have your cell phone, you can just situate it parang parallel to your desk para
Desk.
na nakaka-capture niya yung sinusulat mo. So that's a cheaper alternative and tinitignan ko rin po yun. Base lang po sa budget. Pero if you have the budget, then go for a document camera. If you don't, then just go for the stand. Ayan po.
Yeah.
Ayan, ang daming
Ang dami, no?
mga tips ito, na tips for
Magastos maging
other
teacher ngayon, ano?
Ay, true, sir.
Pero mag-add lang din ako, no? Etong mga nabanggit kanina, hindi to actually hindi to basta-basta parang gastos lang, no?
Correct.
So, parang-
Investment siya, actually.
Yes,
It's
it's an
I want to call it
investment.
an
Tama, Miss
investment.
Paula.
you know?
Investment. Yes.
Oo, pati yung mga ring light dati kasi ring light lang is for selfie or pang
Mayroong comment,
Yes.
meron ako nakitang comment dito, sabi ni Miss Mayna, someone told me that it's good to wear lipstick so people will look at your lips while talking, ano? Para,
Oh.
kasi another way of engaging students kasi you have to capture them, no? So, unti-unti, pag na-capture ng lips mo, they will listen to you na, so they will understand better your words. Thank you for the comment,
Good
Miss
evening,
Mayna.
Miss Mines. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Ayan, Miss Paula.
Ako ang marami akong hinihintay from Lazada. Hinihintay ko yung mga Lazada is your friend when you're looking
Yeah.
for lalo na
Shopping spree si Miss.
Yeah. Kung ayaw mong lumabas, tapos meron kang mga kailangan na parang or naisip mo lang na hanapin, Lazada is the perfect place to be online and also Shopee. Pero right now, like with the big purchases, let's say I delete yung tawa, bes. Pero I think yung mga purchases ko, let's say for example, like I bought a 24-inch na monitor. Kasi what I do with work, I don't just do video chats. I also manage the admin console of the school. So kailangan may admin console dun sa isang window. Kasi naka-Mac din ako, so I can swipe. Dati, I just keep on swiping. Okay, so this is the desktop for the admin, this is the desktop for... But then, after that, medyo napagod na ako. Sabi ko, okay, I think I need an extended monitor. So talagang helpful si extended monitor. So now when I work, anything that requires me to see, like the big picture, literally, I put it in the monitor. So, pag may meeting ako, at least nakikita ko, like yun, yung mga bata, nakikita ko yung mga mukha nung mga kausap ko sa video conferencing, nakikita ko din sila. And then anything that I work on, just like Sir Gary, if I am using, let's say, Google Slides, or if I'm showing them something that I'm presenting on the screen, dito siya sa laptop ko. And then I also bought yun, working chair din. Kasi ang hirap nung nakaupo ka
Mm-mm.
ng sobrang tagal. Siguro like, matagal na yung mga 4 to 5 hours kasi syempre you're gonna get up and eat lunch. Pero ang sakit sa likod
Yes.
afterwards. So you
Very
need to make sure that you have a comfortable chair. If you guys don't want to buy a chair kasi medyo expensive, ang pwede nyong bilhin yung mga parang cushion. Maraming sale ngayon sa department store, like the cushion for the back. So you can buy those things just to make yourselves comfortable. And then I'm waiting for my mouse. Ayan, bumili ako ng ergonomic mouse. I hope it's ergonomic because it is ergonomic. And then bumili din ako ng wireless keyboard because there would be times na 'di ba? Kailangan talaga kasi
totoo yan.
minsan kunwari may kausap ka sa isang chat. So, ayaw mo na nung naglilipat ka ng kung ano-ano. So, sometimes like
Correct.
the kids messages me in Hangouts. Some teachers would message me in Messenger. So, inuunti-unti ko silang i-migrate towards just one ecosystem. Para din lahat kami
Right.
nandun. Kaya lang, it takes time. So, ang adjustment na ginawa ko, bumili ako ng wireless keyboard. Because anyway, it's not only for online teaching, but I can also use it for personal later on, 'di ba? Kung hindi na mag-online teaching again like for the next couple of months, kung sabihin na pumasok na tayong lahat, at least these things, yun nga, like what I mentioned a while ago, it's an investment. I'm going to use it personally and at the same time for my work. So yun.
Ayan, magdagdag ako 'no. Ako
Mm.
naman may kuwento ako ng onti diyan sa chair. So ako din kumuha din ako ng chair. Ayan, ay Sir Gary
Ayan yung wireless keyboard.
naka-wireless keyboard.
Medyo
Oo.
mabigat yung monitor ko, hindi ko madala dito kasi pero yeah. May show and tell.
Oo nga, sana hindi ko rin
Yeah.
Eto na lang yung
Yeah.
i-show ko. Sorry, Adrian. Let me just
sure.
interrupt you there. Phone stand. This is actually
Uh-huh.
very important. Phone
Yes.
stand. Because sometimes when parents would call the advisors or maybe yung if you're a school leader, you're a principal. This is very essential, phone stand.
Very true.
Adrian, go ahead.
Ayan, magdagdag ako, so regarding dun sa chair, nung nag-start ng quarantine ano, nung March, so, ang gamit ko nun yung plastic na upuan. Anong tawag
You
dun?
want a block chair.
Monoblock. But eventually kasi, alam mo yung 'pag sobrang tagal mo nakaupo dun, usually when you have, training tsaka mga documents na ginagawa, ang tagal mo nakaupo. So, naramdaman ko yung time na yun, yung, yung upuan, yung nagsi-split na. Alam niyo yun? So, I mean, 'di ba? But, totoo yun. So, isa yun, yung chair, that's
Yeah.
one.
Mm.
Huwag kayong matawa.
Hindi niya kinaya.
Hindi, totoo yun talaga. So,
Yun na nga yun.
Hindi kasi dun napupunta yung stress mo dun sa
Oo.
upuan, 'di ba?
Oo.
Oo.
Yes.
Your body would need na medyo relax kayo. Kasi hindi, kumbaga right now, stressed tayo. I mean like, iniisip natin paano natin to isi-shift to yung teaching natin. The other one, we're working on various materials for online delivery. Tapos hirap pa yung likod natin tsaka yung puwet, 'di ba? Yun,
Oo.
that's one.
Agree.
Oo. The other one naman, yung laptop stand. I think ito hindi lang siya for ergonomic purposes, but it would also really help your laptops. Kasi kapag naka-stay lang siya sa surface, yun din yung nagko-cause ng overheating din ng laptop. So
Right.
kailangan mo siyang iangat. So kaya siya nakaangat para mas open yung battery na part. So yun, so kailangan nyo rin yun. The other one, this one, ano tawag dito? So ito naman,
Holder.
parang tablet holder. Lalo
Right.
na kung may mga tablets kayo. eto laging tinatanong sa akin, "Ano bang okay sir, laptop or tablet?" Sa totoo lang yung tablet ninyo will just be a secondary device. But,
Mm-mm.
your primary device should be a laptop kahit gaano pa kaganda yung tablet, kahit
Right.
gaano pa kauso at daming features. Kasi
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you would really have to create materials for your students and malilimitahan kayo sa tablet. Kasi ang tablet
Yes.
I consider, mobile device, so may
Mhm.
limitations yun. So
Yes.
the tablets will just be a secondary, devices, but it's also good
Mm-hmm.
to have this kind of, um, equipment for you to attach to your table. Very
Mm.
helpful. And then
Right.
eventually, later on na lang 'no, nag-upgrade na lang ako to getting a mic for better, um, audio. Hindi ko alam kung malakas yung audio ko ngayon, but, it would really help to reduce the background noise. So yun yung
Yeah.
help din nun, hindi lang sa arte 'no, para magmukha
Mm.
kang DJ 'no, but, side tip din, when you're doing online teaching, it's also multitasking. You would have to co-host, it's not just about you
Right.
thinking of the topic,
Oo.
not thinking not just about teaching your lesson, but you're also thinking na, "Ano bang puwede ko sabihin para walang walang dead air?" 'Di ba? May mga gano'n,
Mm.
eh.
Mhm.
And then
Oo.
again, not all your students will speak, lalo na kung
Yes.
naka-mute mo na silang lahat. So, ikaw
Yes.
lang.
Mauubusan ka ng jokes kapag
Yes.
tahimik
Mm.
sila.
Oo,
So,
Yes.
nakakaano lang yun, yung parang, nakikinig kaya sila kasi normally kapag kaharap natin yung students, we would see their reaction,
Faces, reaction,
expression, yung
mood.
on
Yeah.
Mm.
tawa 'no, pero ngayon hindi, eh. So, yun yung mga bagay na dapat natin consider kaya the other one also yun nga yung practice kasi nga magpipindot ka while you're either
Teaching.
delivering your content or just, making them laugh, part yun, eh. So, lalabas din
Mm.
yung character ninyo, not
mm.
just you being a
Yes.
teacher. And
Very
then
true.
I think the other one na ishe-share ko would be bumili nag-purchase ako ng, anong tawag dito, live sound card. So, if you want to add, um, eto, paano ba yun? So, ganyan, ayan. So, ito ay live sound card. This is a
Dapat may
wired
konting kamay na
condenser,
gano'n.
ayan, oo. Tama na,
Oo.
ayan.
Kitang-kita yung ring light mo eh.
What that is actually, it's a wired condenser microphone, wherein you can, puwede mong timplahin yung audio mo,
Mhm.
puwede kang magdagdag ng sound effects. For example, eto nangyayari 'to sa'min, usually kapag tinatanong namin yung participants sa'min, "Kamusta po kayo?" Um, or tinatanong namin yung feedback nila, wala kaming naririnig. So, yung mga gano'ng bagay minsan awkward, ay, ayan, but, etong, mixer, you can add background music to your discussion. For
Ah,
example,
Sample, sample, sample.
example, if you want, applause, ayan,
ah.
or
Sir
if you want,
Adrian,
hmm,
hindi ba
yes,
lalong ma-stress si teacher niya kasi ikokontrol niya yan.
well,
Papalakpak pa.
depende po sa teacher, pero I mean,
Tama pala yan.
some of the tips lang kung gusto niyong magkaroon ng mga
Yung walang
onting,
dead air, ano.
background music. But I think the other one, it's also downloadable. Puwede din daw, via application.
Uh-huh.
So, it's up to the teacher. So, siguro yun muna yung sharing ko on the setup
Environment.
ng environment kasi later on mas madami pa tayong puwedeng,
Oh, meron akong gustong
banggit.
idagdag nga pala before we proceed to the next question. 'Di ba? Kasi we will be sitting for a long period of time, ano? So, minsan pwede tayong magturo na nakatayo pero hindi naman alam ng estudyante natin nakatayo tayo para hindi tayo laging the whole time nakaupo. 'Di ba? So your laptop stand has a use kasi kung naka-table kayo, di tumayo kayo para nagfo-flow yung ano yun, hindi tayo matagal nakaupo kasi
Mm.
syempre from time to time we have to stretch. Pero kung hindi na kaya, edi tayo from 30 minutes tapos upo tayo 30 minutes ulit or 15 minutes, no? Para hindi lagi nakaupo kasi minsan pag matagal tayo nakaupo, yung back natin minsan nakukot na pala tayo. So hindi na healthy yan para sa atin. So lalo na sa mga tenured ga, no? Tayo na lang tayo kung medyo masakit ang likod natin. Ayan.
I think yung
Yun.
pinaka-immediate talaga ngayon when it comes to working environment, kailangan lang talaga meron kang place na tatawagin mo, okay, ito yung space ko when I work. Tama yung sinabi ni Sir Alvin eh. Parang kailangan meron ka ding kanina, yung sinabi niya na kailangan meron ka talagang space. Kasi, yun nga, we're all working from home. So, the tendency is sometimes medyo blur na yung line between
Being
work
home
and
and work.
home.
That's
Yeah.
true.
No?
Yes.
So,
Very true.
kailangan lang meron kang place na pag nakaupo ka doon, work yon. Pero pag sa iba ka nang nagpunta, like sa ibang parts ng house mo or nakaupo ka sa sala, if that's not your work area, then that's for your home life, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ayan. So,
Ang
our
dami.
third
Nakit.
question,
Oh, sige.
nasa pangalawa pa lang tayo, no? Pero,
Oo, titignan ko yung slides natin. Ang dami nun, ano?
Oo nga
Yes.
eh.
Ayan, po art dito.
Sana
Masarap
marami
mag-usap.
silang mapulot.
oo.
Sana marami
Oo.
silang makuha from this.
Yes.
Ayan, ang ating
So the
third
next one.
question. Ayan, what are the technical aspects that we should consider? Technical aspects na tayo.
Na-mention na yung iba kanina dyan, no? Yung,
Mention pa
yung,
kanina,
yung switching between windows, ano? Baka dun sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam, halimbawa, if you're working on a laptop, wala kayong extended monitor, so nasa isang tab yung ating estudyante, nasa isang tab yung ating slide, ano? So, halimbawa, meron kayong dalawang tab or tatlong tab na ginagamit, nasa isang window yan, you can make use of control 1, 2, or 3 para to toggle between tabs para hindi na yung, uy, nasan ba yung mouse ko? Hinahanap niyo yung mouse nyo. Bago nyo pa maklik yung next tab, medyo nawala na yung interest or yung engagement ng estudyante. Sometimes shortcut keys are helpful. So you may want to try opening several tabs in one window and then press the control if you're using Windows or if you're using Mac, press command plus the respective number of the tabs. So you will see that you can toggle between windows easily using keyboard. Now, let's say you have two windows naman, hindi tabs, ano? Yung isang window kasi ayaw paghaluhaluin sa tabs. If you have several windows, or let's say you have three windows, yung isa nandun yung slide mo, yung isa nandun yung Google Meet, tapos yung isa pang application, you can make use of control tab to toggle between windows naman. So these are shortcut keys that you can use kasi technical aspect, paano nga pala, ang dami yung technical aspect. So kaso nga lang, I don't know, it takes practice to be familiar with control keys or shortcut keys, keyboard shortcuts. Pero mas magiging useful yun kasi minsan nga defective yung mouse natin. Nasaan yung mouse ko? Nasaan nga? Gaganyan-ganyan pa tayo doon sa mouse natin. No? So, shortcut keys may be helpful. Control, and then the respective number. If control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you have 5 tabs with one window, or control tab to toggle or switch between tabs. Yan yung mga pwede nyong gawin para hindi nagagamit ng mouse. Kasi ako ay generation ng WordStar. Yes. Everybody tayo dyan, ano? So, useful yun. Minsan, yung mouse, minsan nabawa, ito na lang, mga pop-up window, mag-o-okay lang, pwede naman i-press enter. Hindi, hahanapin pa yung mouse, tsaka i-click yung okay. Yun, medyo natatagalan ako sa ganon. So, sa online classroom, we have to engage our students. Pag na-engage natin, dapat hindi mawala. Kaya kailangan mabilis tayo mag-switch ng window. Yan. Yun lang. Technical aspect, marami yan eh. Practice ang kailangan natin dyan. Yun.
Yes.
Oo nga. Ako kasi pag technical aspect, Sir Gary, ang naiisip ko dyan is yung internet connection. Oo, mahaba-habang usapan yan. Pero normally kasi, yung sinabi ko dun sa mga students namin, because yun nga, we're teaching online. So, and our students naman are also going to work online. I usually tell them na number one, kailangan naka-fiber as much as possible. Kung merong available port or connection ng fiber dun sa lugar ninyo, that's the best connection that you can have. And at the same time, parang, kasi yung iba medyo tinatanong din nila, do we need to have like 100 Mbps to make all these things work? Right now, right now yung connection ko is roughly about 25 to 30 Mbps. And sometimes ang mga users namin dito sa bahay is sabay-sabay kami na apat, nag-webinar or may meeting online, and it works. So I think siguro safe to say that if you have multiple users, siguro mga about 3 to 4, 30 Mbps or roughly about, kung gusto niyo ng medyo konting may allowance, 50. Pero kung mag-isa ka lang, or let's say you're the only user of the internet connection ng ganong oras, siguro kahit mga 20 or 10, kaya na yun. No,
Oo,
hindi
kayang-kaya.
naman,
Miss
oo,
Paula, sisingit lang ako kasi binanggit mo yung speed na yan, ano?
yeah.
Ako ay, ang subscription ko ay 25 Mbps, no?
Mm.
So, fiber. Tapos, pag chinecheck ko yung speed ko, minsan 10, minsan 8, minsan 5, minsan 4.
Ah,
Mag-ingat kayo mga ano, hindi ko i-mention kung anong ano. Works naman. So I just hope for those who are claiming that they have fiber, please give it to the subscribers kasi yun naman yung pinangako
Yes.
ninyo, no? Pakiusap
Oo.
na ngayon, ano? Pakibigay naman po, ano? Kasi yun, it works naman. Hindi kailangan ng mabilis o ng malaking Mbps, pero pakibigay naman po sa amin yung binabayaran namin. Pakiusap pala. Yun lang.
Nag-warn na
Hindi, tsaka
si
ano
President
din.
Duterte about that, Sir Gary.
Very good.
Oh, wow.
Hindi ko alam yun.
Na dapat
ano
daw
naman yun?
i-secure ng mga networks na magbibigay sila ng good service. Nabanggit niya yun, sir, sa last zona niya.
Ay nako, thank you for mentioning that. Kasi ang ginagawa ko ngayon, may balak akong mag-report. Kasi almost every day, I check my speed and then consistent. Kasi pag nag-screen capture ka, andun yung date and time, ano? Minsan,
Yes,
hindi
sir.
lang isang beses ako mag-screenshot. So, andun yung reading ng download and upload. So, makikita, well documented yan. Kaya pag nagpasa ko sa inyo, actionan ninyo.
Yeah, oo.
Sige, Miss Paula, ikaw na, baka.
Hindi, tsaka ano din, Sir Gary, I think you have really also have to survey yung pinakamagandang internet connection sa, kasi alam mo, I mean, the internet service providers can always say that we can give you 100 Mbps unlimited internet, or
Yes,
let's
sir.
say, 'di ba? Or let's say, our connection is, the connection that we're providing is fiber internet. However, we have to also realize that, internet service providers, location-based din kasi siya. Hindi porket maganda
Correct.
ang isang ISP or internet service provider sa akin, sa lugar ko. Like, I'm in
Oo.
Quezon City. It doesn't necessarily mean na maganda rin
Very
yun,
true.
ISP na yun sa
That's correct.
Parañaque or sa Bulacan. So, you cannot
Oh.
really say. So,
Ito,
just,
kasi
Tama.
wide naman yung sa amin. But what's
yeah.
good with this is kahit na umuulan, yung minsan malakas na ulan, andyan pa rin naman yung connection ko, hindi ako nawawala. So, that's what's good with my connection. Pero yung
Yeah.
speed, consistent silang hindi sumusunod sa usapan.
Sir Gary,
Yun
last
nga.
time, diba we've been doing webinars already since Feb ba or March?
March.
That time, anong internet connection nyo?
Dati kasi, yung mga yung mga first few webinars na ginagawa ko, masakit sa bulsa yon. Kasi, I use a prepaid, I load, so medyo malaki siya. So sabi ko, kapag mag-load ako tuwing mag-webinar, lugi ako kasi, sabihin mong 10 webinar yon, parang ano na siya, parang katumbas na yun ng mahigit pa nga sa isang buwan na subscription sa fiber. So nag-subscribe ako for a fiber. But then, ayun, I realized na hindi naman buo talaga yung binibigay. Pero I'm thankful kasi, I survived. I mean, gano'n lang. Yun. Ayan, basta baka makapagsalita.
Ayun, pagkakatan ako, kanina sabi ni Miss Paula, yung depende sa location ninyo. So, if you're in a
Yes.
village or kung nasan man kayo, pwede nyong tanungin sa
Right.
community, ano ba ang pinaka-okay sa neighborhood na
Yes.
connection? Kasi baka ito yung gusto mo sana, pero hindi pala siya nakapasok sa village ninyo. May mga ganun na may ibang provider na hindi nakakapasok per area. So you have to check on that. You can ask your yun sa community ninyo kung alin ba ang ginagamit karamihan or kung may naka-block ba na ibang provider. Otherwise, sayang yung effort natin to call internet providers. The other one, lagi ko din to sinasabi sa mga teachers, no? Others kasi are still using data connection. Pwede naman kasi again, we have to be resourceful, but
Right.
this is also the time that we exhaust everything already before the start of the school year. Kung gagana ba 'to kapag may mga bata na. Kasi ibang usapan na kapag involved na yung
Mm.
mga students, eh. Kasi before puwedeng, practice-practice lang sa kaibigan or
Mm.
within the co-teachers, iba yun, eh. Kasi hindi pa gano'n karami yun. Unlike, if we
Mm.
have like a full, bulk ng participants, ibang
That's correct.
ibang laro na siya. So yun,
Yes.
talagang, use
Yes.
this time to still exhaust everything kung kaya ba ng laptop ninyo. I think that's one also to consider, yung laptop hindi or computer ano bang specs. So, I think yun yung sa ilang RAM ba ang puwede. Sir Gary,
Mm.
ilang gig ba ang dapat na spec
Ah, kasi
ng
ganito,
device?
depende yan sa ano ba ang gamit talaga. Kasi katulad nito, for example, we're conducting webinars, so dapat medyo mataas yung spec kasi lahat tayo magsisynchronous tapos may video. So it requires a higher spec. So ayun, halimbawa, kasi kung bukod sa video, meron ka pang ibang applications na gagamitin. So, yun yung mga bagay na dapat i-consider. Tapos, halimbawa, ano ba yung pinapagawa ni teacher? Gagawa daw kami, mag-edit daw kami ng picture. So, when you edit a picture, it requires a higher spec. So, yun. Ayun, hindi ko masasagot. Kasi walang ano, pag sinabi ko, halimbawa, for now, maybe for grade school, iba ang needs. Sa high school, iba ang needs. Pero sa
Tama.
college, iba rin ang need, no? So, pero ang masasabi ko lang yan, the higher, the better. Yun lang, no? So, if you will
Bagay
invest,
na, Sir
if
Adrian.
you will,
Ay, yes, Sir Gary, sorry.
if you will invest on a laptop, medyo laki, yung magandang specs na. Mahal man siya, but think of it as long term. Kasi kailangan naman talaga natin, o kahit na mga estudyante, yung maayos na laptop. Kasi, yun, isipin yung matagal gagamitin. So, medyo
Right.
worth naman yung, yung investment ninyo.
Yes.
Kasi
Tsaka,
marami
Sir
ako
Gary,
naririnig na na mura daw, parang less than 20K.
correct.
Kaso nga lang, ayun, nagsisisi sila ngayon. So, ayun natin mangyari yun kasi sayang yung binili. Yun lang. O sige, Miss Kat.
Mm. Yeah, gusto ko lang din mag-add doon. Kasi totoo yung sinasabi ni Sir Gary na gagastos ka na rin lang. Hindi naman, wag mo naman nating sabihin siguro na bonggahan mo na or yung one time, big time na magandang purchase. Pero like make sure that that the computer na bibilin mo is really up for the challenge of doing online. So normally, like I was researching about it, well, dapat hindi na kayo bumibili ng kung yung RAM, no? Kanina minention yun ni Adrian na parang ano ba dapat, ilang RAM ba dapat, ano ba yung ilang ilang gigabytes ba ng RAM dapat. So normally ako, ang sinasabi ko dun sa mga students ko, try to look for something ng minimum 4 gig. Minimum ha. Hindi ka pwedeng bumaba ng 2. Kasi normally, kapag video conferencing ka, so naka-on yung camera mo. So ibig sabihin kumakain din 'yun ng memory ng laptop mo while you're running it. Yun kasi yung idea ng RAM eh. And then at the same time, you're also using an app for that. And mostly ano ba yung mga apps na yun, 'di ba? So like for example, you have your Google Meet or you have your Zoom or you have like Messenger calls or Messenger rooms. So yung mga video conferencing apps na yun, malaki yung memory na kinakain nila from the computer. So kailangan yung minimum mo is 4, maganda ang 8, pero medyo pricey na si 8 gig, no? So kung if you're a student or you're a teacher, I think 4 gig is supposed to be your minimum. And then, yun nga, for other aspects naman of the laptop, to be honest, if you're just working on documents, you don't need a lot of local storage or yung tinatawag natin na yung madalas na tawag doon ng mga vendors or ng mga namimili is yung mga terabyte.
Hindi lang
Terabyte
kailangan.
Oo, hindi niyo kailangan ng sobrang laking local storage talaga. Especially now that most of the students are really working online, no? We have what we call the cloud services.
Correct.
So you can use it. And for students, yun nga, madalas provided siya ng school. Yung mga accounts ng school, meron ng kakabit yun na storage online in which they can use to put all their files and all their documents. Tapos, meron din akong side kwento dito. I remember, meron akong isang co-teacher, tinanong niya ako, sabi niya, meron kasing pinabibili na laptop yung pamangkin ko. Sabi ko, ano bang laptop yan? Sabi niya, kasi ang nire-recommend ko sa kanya, you might want to check out, let's say, yung mga laptops na hindi masyadong aabot ng 60K or 50K. Kasi aminin natin, meron talagang mga ganong kagagandang laptops, di ba? Apparently, yun yung gustong pabili ng pamangkin niya. Sabi ko, wag kang bibili nun kasi baka mag-games ka. Yung gaming laptop yung gusto ng pamangkin mo,
Oo,
hindi siya for...
mag-games.
So, unnecessary yung gastos mo. So, try to keep it ng medyo mababa ng konti, but not too low. Not like yung katulad ng sabi ni Sir Gary, wag naman yung sobrang mura.
Mura.
Akala mo panalo ka na. Pero
Oo.
mga tipong wala pang 2 buwan,
Mapoprospect
naghihingalo
na.
na siya.
Oo. So, yun.
Make
Mahilig kasi tayo
investment.
sa mura na bagay, ano? Pero sometimes, yung
Oo.
quality hindi nakikita sa mga ganon. No, yun.
Yes.
But, ayun, with for example, ano, for those who are using schools that are Google enabled, yung mga may G Suite account, I can suggest Google Chromebooks. You can ask the schools, no? Kasi yun, tama yung sinasabi ni Paula, hindi mo kailangan terabyte eh. Kasi Chromebooks work with sa cloud siya, naka-store. So temporary, if you're not connected in the internet, temporary lang yung storage niya sa local storage niya. Pero when you connect, nakasync na siya. So yung mga ganun bagay. So we have to be wise when we purchase something. Yun.
Ayan. Siguro sa mga baka may naghahanap ng mga Chromebooks. Ayan, sa mga viewers natin, yung Chromebooks po ay ang operating system ay Chrome. So, just in case po na interested kayo sa mga Chromebooks, you can contact one would be QSR. They're providing Chromebooks. You can
Yeah.
contact them. You can just email them at um, education@qsr.com.ph. The other one naman, if you are looking for specific Chromebooks for personal use, high specs, pwede nyo ring kontakin or hanapin si Chromebook Store Philippines. So, mahahanap nyo siya sa Facebook. So, maraming Chromebooks available na no-offer niya, and pwede kayong mag-request din kung anong Chromebooks yung hanap ninyo. So, again, that's Chromebook Store Philippines. Ayan.
Sir Adrian,
Mhm.
sir, dagdag ko lang dun sa technical aspects, sir. As far as I can remember, si DepEd, nag-release din sila ng memorandum last June 8 with regards sa mga specifications sa mga devices na sinasuggest din nila. And tama yung nabanggit ni Ms. Paula kanina, sir, na isa sa nabanggit nila na dapat may 8 GB RAM yung mga laptops ng mga teachers. Tapos, with regards dun sa internet connectivity, sir, nabasa ko dun sa memo na they would like to suggest sa mga teachers na magkaroon ng at least 10 GB bandwidth. Tapos naglagay din sila ng amount na sabi nila it's around 500 pesos per month. Tapos sa mga students naman daw, sir, they are suggesting that the students should have at least 6 GB bandwidth para naman daw ma-access nila yung mga materials na kailangan nila sa mga learning platforms. Yun, sir.
Right.
Ayan. Thank you.
Wow.
Ang galing. Comment ko yung Sir Alvin, no, yung info na nilalatag na sa atin is based on the released
Memo.
information from the DepEd,
Yes, sir.
from the President.
Yeah.
Ano.
Meron tayong question dito from our viewer. Would you like to question coming from Higher Ground Baptist. Sabi niya,
Okay.
question, can we disable presenter view in Keynote kapag gumagamit kasi ng Keynote or PowerPoint sa MacBook kahit hindi naka-split screen, kahit naka-split screen, hindi ko na makita yung students ko sa Google Meet. Ang suggestion ko dyan is don't use Keynote. Use Google Slide and then present it in this. Kasi with that, kasi you're using Google Meet and then you're using Keynote. Si Keynote ay hindi siya naka-present sa browser, no? Nagpe-present siya sa isang separate app. But if you're using Google Slide, you can present that in a tab, and then you can present a tab in Google Meet, no? So
Right.
yun. Kasi syempre magkaibang product yan, magkaibang company yan, no? So hindi sila compatible. So there will be issues, ano? So what you need to do is make use of one platform like Google Chrome browser and then use Google Slide. So yun, ang suggestion ko kay Higher Ground Baptist.
The
Yan.
other one, magdagdag din ako kasi yung experience din namin before yung mga unang beses na nag-webinar kami, ako personally, pag fino-full screen ko na yung presentation ko, hindi ko na nakikita yung iba. So hindi ko alam kung naririnig pa rin ba nila ako or out na pa ako
Oo.
sa connection. So
Yes.
yung mga gano'n, ang hirap ng yun nga, siguro ako advice ko mag-dual screen ka. Another
Oo.
monitor, kung may hindi kayo ginagamit na dating computer ta's naka-laptop na kayo, you can use that. Ako yun yung ginagamit ko. Kasi ang
Mm-mm.
hirap ng para kang bulag na
Hindi
nagte-train
mo
ka,
nakikita.
Mm.
nagdi-discuss ka, pero hindi mo pala alam out ka na pala and nangyayari rin sa'min yun.
Mm-mm.
Hindi siya
Ayan.
totoo yun. Kahit gaano pa kahanda tayo, minsan 'no, tayo rin we have to give allowance sa atin as teachers kasi aminin natin sa online teaching madaming factors ang puwedeng maglaro. Puwede kang depende sa
Oo,
status ng iyong connection, status ng laptop mo, biglang nag-update, biglang bumagyo, mababago yung connection mo. So,
correct.
again, give allowance na to to na puwedeng may mangyaring technical
Oo.
concern during the train the
In re
the
in real life naman kasi Sir Adrian, 'di ba may plan A tayo, if it fails,
mm,
we need to have plan B,
Yes.
yan.
tama.
So,
Oo,
gano'n din
tsaka
sa
'wag din
online, you
tayo
need to have
masyadong
several plans.
perfectionist. Yun
Mhm.
din,
Yes.
it's good to have plans, but don't be too hard sa sarili ninyo na parang, hindi ko na hindi naging seamless yung ano ko ngayon. So, mga gano'n. Madaming, puwede kasing mangyari. So, ayun.
Yeah.
Mm.
Si
Yeah.
Adrian, may
Opo.
dadagdag din ako. Ewan ko
Mm.
kung, I feel like this is a technical aspect na importanteng malaman ng mga teachers, especially teachers who are who will use Google Meet for their synchronous classes.
Mm.
Kasi di ba there are many ways to present your screen. Pwedeng
Mhm.
present your entire screen, the
Right.
window,
So,
and
or
then just the Chrome tab, di ba po? So, dapat alam ng mga teachers kung kailan gagamitin yung mga yon. So,
yes,
when you
yes.
present an entire screen, if you have the intention to switch from one tab to another, yun yung PPEN.
Mm.
The other one, present a window, if you're going to present a window. Di ba po? It's much similar to presenting your entire screen.
Yeah.
And then the third one, present a Chrome tab, and this is very important. We use this
Yes.
whenever we want to show a video. Kasi
Yeah.
otherwise, if we don't choose this option, hindi maririnig ng mga bata yung
Yes,
audio
correct.
ng video natin. So this is, di
Mm.
ba Sir Adrian, we learned this the hard way.
Tama. Mm.
So, during our training. So, ngayon po,
Speaking
lagi
from
pong,
experience.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, miss. So, talagang ine-emphasize po namin talaga to, no, how to present the screen properly
Mm.
so that if you're presenting a video or an animation, the
With
participants will be
audio.
able to, yes po, to hear the
Mm.
audio.
Correct.
Ayun po.
Ay, meron akong
Yun lang.
idagdag dyan,
Opo.
Miss June. Make sure you don't present the Google Meet tab because you know what will happen. Echo yan.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tama
mag-e-echo.
po.
Tama,
Yun
sir.
din.
Yes.
Make sure you
Usually
don't
Opo.
yun naman yung
don't do
concern
that.
na kukuha na nila na "Sir, ginawa na namin yung Chrome tab pero parang yung tunog dalawa o kaya parang may echo daw or
Oo, right.
basa." 'Pag gano'n kasi dalawa yung naka-on, dalawa
Naka-open na
yung
Google
mic
Meet.
ninyo, naka-on
Oo.
yun pareho. So,
Yes.
kailangan yung i-disable yung primary ninyo na mic para yung
Mm.
maririnig lang would be from the video
The
itself. Otherwise,
presentation, yes.
magdodoble siya. Yun,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
ayan.
Okay.
Next
Next.
question, ayan.
How do
Ay,
we prepare for our online materials for
this
students?
one
Ano?
medyo mabigat-bigat ito 'no, pero siguro we
Oo.
can just give them,
Yes.
some outline lang kasi
Brief lang
masalimuot
ako.
ito,
Sige.
madami ito. But,
Ako,
sige take it away sir.
kasi preparing materials, medyo mahaba yung talaga yung coverage niya. No? But for
Mm,
online materials, we we should also balance what we give to our students. Kasi number one, we need to consider the screen time of students. Kaya sabihin yung 5 minutes lang kayo or 10 minutes lang kayo, ilang subject naman meron sila? Okay?
Right.
So, magkaklase yan. So, let's say 5 minutes magkaklase. So, hindi naman 5 minutes tayo magkaklase, ano? Bukod doon sa encounter natin sa kanila, let's just say 20 minutes. So, 20 minutes encounter with them. Ilang subject meron sila? Sabihin natin average 10 or 8, ano? Sabihin natin 10 para madaling computin. So, it means 200 minutes na yan. Encounter pa lang. Ngayon, pag ang ating material ay online pa rin nila gagawin or using technology, gaano katagal na sila ngayon naka-expose or nakaharap sa computer? Medyo hindi na siya healthy. So, preparing online material should be a bit short. Or if it's possible to do it offline without the use of technology, kasi doon naman talaga, di ba, before naman tayo magkaroon ng distance education or distance learning, hindi talaga naman online lahat ang activity. Now, kasi kailangan natin balansehin yung health ng bata, kasi yung health ng bata, yung health natin, at yung mga posibleng magiging problema nila sa bahay kapag lagi silang naka-online. So, yun yung take ko dito as teachers, make sure you do it, yung online materials natin, konti lang ang kailangan, yung research lang, ano? Kasi hindi lang tayo ang subject, marami pang subject. At meron pa, halimbawa, may kapatid pa siya na isa, nagagamit din ng computer, at isa lang ang laptop. Kawawa naman sila o baka mag-away sila sa bahay kapag ganon yung ating puro online ng activities na ginawa natin for students, no? Yun lang. Salamat.
Yeah. Kayo
Ako
po.
po, sige po. Mabilis lang din po ako. So, para sa akin po yung flow naman, yung flow ng module mo or materials mo. So, ako po recently, this was also introduced by Sir Adrian to us, yung 5 E's instructional model. Medyo nagustuhan ko po siya. So, ginagamit ko po siya ngayon when preparing materials for the classes that I will be having for this school year. Yung start po tayo sa engage, and then explore, explain, elaborate, and then evaluate. Yun po yung flow ng materials na ginagawa ko. And importante rin po talaga yung sinabi ni Sir Gary that we don't make our materials too long. Ano po, kasi talagang dapat limited lang talaga yung time ng mga bata sa in front of the screen, kasi yes, it's really not good for the health. So ganun po, yun na, it's really very useful for me. This model is for parang folk, sabi nila, maganda daw to sa math and science, but then this is also applicable for other subject areas, not just for science and math. Yan lang po.
Right. Okay. Sir Alvin, ikaw.
Sa akin naman po, teachers, gaya nga po na bagit ko kanina, may gusto po akong i-share na meme related to preparation ng mga online materials sa side ng mga teachers. Sir Adrian, nakita niyo po ba, sir?
Sige. I'll remove my
Yes, sir.
screen.
Ako mag-share, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Kita na po ba, sir?
Ayan. Okay.
Ayan. So, ito po yung meme na nakita ko na what others see. So, akala nila yung online classes, it's just yung sa tip of the iceberg. But behind that, what teachers see, ito po talaga yan sa mga viewers natin. I guess you can also relate na hindi talaga madali ang mag-prepare for online classes. As you can see here, ang daming kailangang i-prepare ni teacher. Sa lesson plans pa lang niya, mga tasks na ipapagawa sa mga bata, yung most essential learning competencies, and then the other, at saka yung iba-iba pa pong mga apps na kailangan gamitin. So, this meme speaks for all of us, na lalo na sa ating mga teachers, na hindi po talaga madali ang preparation na ginagawa natin for, wait lang po, let me just stop. Yeah. Na hindi talaga siya madaling gawin, yung preparation po na sinasabi po nila. But natutuwa po ako na lahat ng teachers ay very passionate talaga sa pagtuturo nila, kasi kahit na ganun karami yung makikita mo na kailangan nilang paghandaan, they are still willing and able na pagdaanan lahat ng yun para makapag-prepare sa mga estudyante. So, siguro po for me, how do we prepare our online materials? Siguro po, teachers, let's make it short and simple. Uh,
Yes.
na
Yeah.
hindi mabubore yung mga bata na sagutan yung ating mga materials. Siguro, let me just share this, teachers. Sa amin po kasi in the public school, uh, the region of National Capital, the National Capital Region DepEd really encourages teachers to use the modular type of distance learning. Hindi po talaga kami online learning talaga na 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 by default mode. Modular distance learning po talaga kami. So ang ginagawa po in the DepEd, in the public schools, may mga modules po na pin-prepare ng mga selected teachers within the schools division of the sa loob ng city. Tapos yun po yung i-distribute namin sa aming mga students, sa aming mga stakeholders. But in our school, sa Santo Niño National High School po, we did apply for the na-i-allow po kami ng regional office to utilize online material. So it's still in the process. And my school head, Mr. Angelo de Armas, shout out po kay Sir Armas for this effort. Nag-ano po kami, nag-apply po kami for that. And kahit po na naka-default mode si DepEd ng modular distance learning, sa mga susunod na buwan po, itatry po talaga namin na mag-Google Classroom po kami. Kasi just to tell this to you, no, teachers, yung cost po talaga ng pagpiprint ng modules ay napakamahal. Yun po yung naging problema ng ilang mga public schools sa NCR kasi aabutin po ng daan-daang libo ang pag-produce ng mga modules sa mga bata. So yung online materials po talaga ay isa sa mga nakikitang alternative in the long run kasi dito po makakatipid talaga yung mga schools. So kami po sa school namin tinuruan na yung mga teachers na paano mag-craft ng kanilang Google Classroom. Tinuruan na din po kami kung ano yung iba't ibang mga applications, yung paggamit po ng mga hyperslides, hyperdocs. So, yun po yung ilan sa mga nakikita naming alternative aside from modules na ipiprint. So, yun po yung ginagawa namin mga online materials as of the moment.
Maganda yung nabanggit ni Sir na yun nga, yung mga ibang techniques din on technology, yung mga hyperdocs is really helpful. Kasi like say for example, you can actually prepare one whole module in just one document, no?
Yes.
Na nandun na lahat, ikiklik na lang nung bata kung ano yung, for example, kung ito yung Monday task niya, you can just put a heading na Monday, and then under Monday would be different links in which in order na siyang naka-position para click lang ng click yung kid. Kasi ang madalas na sinasabi namin kapag meron kaming preparations na ganyan is kung kaya ng isang teacher gawin ito ng 30 minutes, always multiply it by 3. Ganon katagal ang mga bata. So that's also true for those of children with special needs because our school din po cater children with special needs. So, one of the things na kailangan naming tandaan is, yun nga, kung kaya ko to ng 5 minuto, it's always times 3 for the children and most of the time, it's times 5 for children with special needs. So,
I agree.
we have to be very conscious with that. Hindi porket tayo, kaya ng mga teachers. O, kaya ko yan kasi madali lang naman yan. Hindi eh. You have to make sure that you are preparing your online materials not for you but for the students, no. So I think that's one thing that I also want to share.
I'd like to add
Yes, sir.
something to that. Kasi bukod dun sa halimbawa sabihin, 5 minutes lang yung na-prepare ko. So, ita times 5 ko, di 25 minutes lang yan, di ba? O sige, ipa-factor ko pa yung lahat ng subject. Take note, kung i-complete man natin, let's say, ganitong X number of minutes yan, hindi naman ganun din talaga ang reality sa bahay. Yun yung idea lang, ano? Kasi ganito, gagawin na ni estudyante, focus siya. Anak, tatawag si nanay, anak, pakitulungan nga ako sandali dito. Ayan na po. Tapos nasira ang focus ng estudyante, which will make your students take longer to fulfill yung kailangan niyang gawin para sa subject natin. Kasi nga, mahirap na, ang parents minsan hindi alam yung division ng, okay, meron siyang anak na estudyante na pumapasok din sa eskwelahan pero nasa bahay lang. Hindi pa talaga
Right.
nila realize. So very important yung sinabi mo na time. Talagang 'yon, no? So, 'yun yung mga isang dapat i-consider natin.
Right.
Ako mabilis
Agree.
lang. Regarding preparing of online materials, pwede niyong gawin is for the teachers, you prepare it by week or sorry, per week. You prepare your materials as much as possible. Kung kaya nyo i-gather in one platform, gawin nyo
Ay,
para for the
oo.
students, nandun na lahat.
Oo,
Naka-prepare na. The
naalala
other
ko
one,
tuloy.
sige po.
Sige. Kasi ngayon, very important, yung teachable moments,
Right.
di ba? That's
Mm-mm.
one. Another thing is integration. For
Correct.
example, meron si THE cooking, o di sumabay na si math, sumabay na si science, kasi
Mm.
nandun na yun eh.
Correct.
Measurement, di ba? Heat. So integration is so important. So we have,
Yes.
yun lang sasabi ko tuwing training ko, as teachers, we don't prepare for our subject alone, but we have to consider a lot of things. One is we have to consider the situation of the kid. The other is we have to integrate with other teachers, subject teachers,
Yes.
para
Tama.
less na yung load sa bata. Tapos
Mm,
isang output, marami ng subject ang makikinabang.
mm.
Kasi nga, take note, we are giving part of our role to parents sa bahay para gawin, ano? So, para gawin din natin madali para sa kanila yon. Ayun.
Yeah, and the other one, dagdag ko din, for online materials, mahirap kasi yung let's say if you have 20 or 35 minutes session or synchronous meetups with your students, mahirap yung doon yung i-discuss yung topic ninyo. Mahirap yun. Kukulangin talaga kayo ng time. Hindi nyo matatapos yung
Yes.
content ninyo, requirement. So, ang pinakamagandang gawin dyan, you create modules per week or kung kaya po kung kaya, you can record yourself. Pwedeng kung hindi pa masyadong gamay on editing applications, pwedeng lang, cellphone.
Short clips.
Tutok nyo lang,
Short clips.
short
Yes.
clips lang. Make it don't kung nagdi-discuss tayo, nagle-lecture tayo ng 1 hour sa loob ng klase, wag po ganun. Content chunk po
Oo.
tayo. So, lang 'to, i-divide nyo per 5 minutes lang or mahirap.
Yes.
Imagine niyo tayo, kapag nanood tayo ng YouTube video or sa Facebook, kapag lumagpas ng 5 minuto, hindi na natin tinatapos.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or hindi
Right.
na natin chine-check. Kasi ang haba naman ito, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What more kung yung pinrepare mo is good 1 hour. So that would be difficult for the students. So yun talaga yun. Kailangan din natin isipin din, kahit kaya natin, tingnan natin kung kaya ba ni student ng one sitting. So again, wag tayo mag-prepare ng good 1 hour or kahit 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Matagal po yun. Make it as much as possible, take pa 5 minutes. Kasi iba po kapag online teaching. So that's one tip. Kasi again, kung lahat ng lecture ninyo i-discuss nyo during online or synchronous, hindi kayo aabot dun sa
Correct.
requirement. So,
Yeah.
Wala.
kailangan nyo
Agree.
talagang maging creative. So, alam ko po mahirap, nakakailang na gumawa ng video through your phone. But I think napapanahon na rin po na ang Pinoy teachers ay makagawa na rin po ng kanilang content. Kasi ito yung matagal ng sana na gagawaan na ng teachers natin dito sa Philippines. Kaya kung napapansin nyo, lahat ng content, makikita nyo puro international kasi puro ibang lahi yung gumagawa
Yes.
nun. So I think now
Yes.
this is the best time also for us to create our content kasi malikhain po ang Pinoy, no? At magaling at maraming kayang gawin. So yun, that's ano.
Ngayon, sir, marami na eh. Marami ng Filipino-made content compared sa previous years. So, siguro isa yun sa mga naging magandang resulta ng pandemic. Teachers are able to
More
create
time to, yes.
Apo,
Yes.
yes.
Create.
Yeah.
Napupush talaga.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ayan po. Siguro
Okay.
yun, ang dami pero kailangan natin na pumunta sa next next question. Sige po.
How do we engage our students in an online teaching?
Ayan.
Okay. Well, I think yung next slide then is part of classroom, about classroom management. Maybe I can just put these two
Sige. So I
together.
think Oo.
So how do we
Yung
engage our students in an online classroom at saka management, ano?
mm,
Di ba we ask our students to mute their microphone. Now, kapag medyo mahina ang internet nila, we can allow them to turn off their camera also. But from, let's say, pag nagle-lecture tayo, huwag tayong mag-lecture, ano? We have to engage them. So how do
Right.
we engage them?
Yes.
Let's say after 5 minutes, you're giving a story, you can ask, okay, what do you think? You always post a question. Yung art of questioning natin, dapat mas frequent ngayon. Kasi we will ask
Mm.
our students to turn on their camera to engage them.
Mm.
And then, okay, halimbawa, medyo hindi kailangan ng technology, gawin nating manual process. Okay, I have a question. Naka-prepare yung question mo. Halimbawa, multiple choice question. Okay, A, B, C, or D. Paano mo makukolekta ngayon yung answer nila? Dati yung true or false, o tataas lang tayo ng kamay, ano? So how do we do that online? One of my tip is this. Let's say true or false, di ba? Ganun lang kadali, di ba? So true or false. Or kung multiple choice
Yes.
yan, 1, 2, 3, 4, hindi A, B, C, D kasi hindi sila marunong mag-sign language, no? So, it's
Correct.
yung how do we engage them. Kasi kapag hindi tayo magpo-post ng question from time to time, hindi nyo alam kung nakikinig pa sila or baka mamaya naka-off yung microphone, naka-off yung camera, wala pala sila sa harapan ng kanilang computer. That's part of classroom management. Engagement
Mhm.
is ask question more frequent. Hindi yung dami nating sinasabi, ano? Sometimes, yung
yeah.
part ng preparation natin kanina, hindi natin kailangan sabihin lahat. Flipped classroom means giving them reading material. So when you have this synchronous encounter with them, it's more on deepening what they have read. Hindi na spoon feeding.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
kasi less yung time natin ngayon, we have to reduce everything. So part of the classroom management is make sure that they have read something para meron kang evaluation. So share a document, tapos type their answers para nandun well documented din yung responses nila. So they are engaged and you can manage them well. So yun yung isa sa maraming tip na naiisip ko.
Your synchronous sessions should cover thought processing, asking your students if they get it, or
Mhm.
reflection, or
Mhm.
if um they've understood the instructions, so mga ganon.
Mhm.
Mahirap kung content yung or lecture yung focus niyo in during synchronous um sessions.
Mm.
Um the other one, managing how do we manage your students? I think this one kailangan may house rules pa rin
Mhm.
online.
Oo.
Yes.
Right.
May house rules pa rin at guidelines. Mahirap ang wala.
Mhm.
Otherwise, madami
Mm.
pang gagawin yung mga students, lalo na sa mga lower level. So they might just,
Mm.
stand up or dahil gusto lang nila or nainip, 'di ba po? I think Miss Paula, no, meron kang story about it or takeaway sa gantong setup.
Oo, kasi, as of today, nag-open na yung school namin, nag-dry run na kami last week. So, ano, literal na ito yung linggo na medyo pagod talaga kaming lahat na teachers sa school namin sa Cornerstone. And, one of the things na na-bring up nila is that, kinoconsult ako ng mga teachers na parang bakit daw, ano daw ba yung dapat gawin kapag, kunwari, yun nga, yung mga students, lumalabas ng Google Meet or ng video conferencing app nang hindi nagpapaalam, or how do you manage that? Sabi ko, teachers, I think you're asking, you're thinking kasi na that's an edtech problem. Or iniisip nyo ba na edtech problem siya? Kasi actually it's not. It's a classroom management issue. And sabi ko nga, just like yung minention kanina ni Sir Gary tsaka ni Adrian, dapat meron talaga kayong house rules, and from the beginning dapat sineset nyo na yung expectations nila. Like for example, my simple house rule or my simple online classroom rule is that when you enter the Google Meet or when you enter the video conferencing app, you need to make sure that your camera is on and you need to make sure that your microphone is turned off. Hindi pwedeng pagpasok mo pa lang, 'di ba? Nakabukas na kagad yung mic or may kumakanta, merong nagigitara. You cannot you have to also set the tone from the beginning. So the reason why we had the dry run, it's not only for the students to take to get the feel of what an online class is. It's also for us to learn ano ba yung mga dapat naming i-fine tune na class rules kumbaga. If before we have what we call yung kasi sa school namin uso yung ano yung pag nakaganon, kunwari nagpapaalam yung
Peace sign.
student, naka-peace sign.
Yes,
Ibig
yes.
sabihin they want to go out. So they want to go
Yes,
out
we
of
are.
the classroom to go to the restroom. So you can also implement something like that na hindi naman kailangan magbago yun. Pwede namang gumanon lang din sila and you already know that. You can see them in the camera. Or yun nga, you can set a class rule na everyone should turn on their videos. Especially if the bandwidth naman, if hindi naman yun hadlang, kumbaga, no? Kung hindi naman yun yung magiging problem, why don't you ask also your students to turn on their cameras or one of the school rules or sorry class rules na ini-implement ko din is if you want to say something while somebody else is speaking, why don't you use the chat box, no? So I direct them towards that because those are the things na pwede mong implement as a classroom management or better yet we call it online classroom management, diba?
Yes. Very
Kayo po,
Tama
ano
po.
po ang mga kwento ninyo? Kwentong classroom management?
Ako po, wala pa po akong kwentong online classroom management kasi this is going to be the first year that I'm going to be teaching online aside from the trainings that we have had. Pero one of the things that talagang I feel like I will really use is the flipped online classroom. Kasi I'm going to be teaching senior high school students. So kaya na nila yon na before they go to my class, they should, or once they are in my class, they should be prepared. No? So ipapadala ko na all of the materials that they would need to read or maybe watch. And then from there, para yung time namin online would just be limited to the essentials.
Yeah.
And then I would like to vary the activity. So even if my students are senior high school students already, I would be giving them a lot of interactive activities that's possible by using Google Jamboard, Google Drawings, even Google Slides. So marami po tayong pwedeng magamit na educational technology tools. And then when it comes to the attendance, checking the attendance, aside from just asking them or doing a roll call, feeling ko po maganda, it's also a way to engage them would be if you would like to give them a question that's related to the topic and then they would be answering. So parang you already hit two birds with one stone. The attendance, tapos meron na rin. You can easily gauge kung nagbasa ba tong batang to o hindi. So marami po tayong pwedeng gawin to engage them. And then, of course, to manage them, dapat talaga we still set rules for them. So yun
Miss
lang po
June,
sa akin.
ko-connect ko na rin po itong question from the audience para
Sige,
masagot
sir.
din natin. I think the other one din, habang tumatagal tayo, no, I think ume-ere na tayo ng 1 hour, 27 minutes. Pero mas madami ang audience natin ngayon compared kanina. Maraming
Sige,
salamat
sir.
po sa
Thank
pagkapit,
you.
no? Maraming salamat, viewers. The question from Higher Ground Baptist, bukod po sa Jamboard, meron pa po bang digital boarding para magamit sa Google Meet?
Sa Google Meet, actually, sir, ako sa Google Meet naman, you can use any as long as it's available in the net. Ano po? And one of the possible apps na pwedeng gamitin aside from Google Jamboard is whiteboard.fi. So, ito po, kakatingin ko lang nito, whiteboard.fi, and maganda naman po yung review. And I'm also thinking of using whiteboard.fi for my classes. So aside from Jamboard, yun po, whiteboard.fi. Yun, sir.
The other one din, magdagdag ako, hindi pa to naro-roll out sa Philippines. I think in the other countries as well. Pero magkakaroon kasi ng update si Google Meet wherein Jamboard will already be integrated. So antayin din natin yun.
Right.
Yun
I'm
yung isa sa mga
excited for that.
paparating na feature.
I think yun din yung reason kung ba't I really also like using Google tools. Kasi yung premise kasi ni Google kung bakit ganun yung design niya. Like for example, with Gmail. So I really like the fact that Gmail has Hangouts. dun sa kanyang interface. Kasi ang hirap nung, kunwari, let's say, mag-email ka, tapos biglang tutunog yung isang messaging app because that's where the teachers are messaging you. So, lilipat ka doon, titignan mo siya. So, medyo mahirap, diba? Pero, if you have all the tools in just one interface, then it's not going to hindi siya ganun kahirap na i-manipulate, especially even for people who are just starting learning things online. Tapos yung isa ko pang gusto is like ngayon si Google Classroom, so meron na siyang Meet link. So you can generate your own Google Meet link in your Google Classroom, and at the same time anything that you put, let's say an assignment that has a deadline, anything na yung assignment mo may deadline, or merong let's say kahit next month pa yung deadline, and if it's a long-term project, it's already integrated with Google Calendar. So that's one thing na isang, I think, why I really like using Google tools, kasi madalas nandun na siya, yung mga kailangan mo nandun na siya. At saka yung isang gusto ko pang sabihin siguro na baka hindi lahat ng educators na nanonood ngayon is alam. Did you know that Google Docs and Google I think Google Docs Sheets and Slides, merong maliit na star button dun sa lower,
Right.
tama ba?
Corner.
Lower
Right.
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 Lower
Lower
right corner.
button.
Yeah. Kasi I'm confused with my right and left. Sorry na. Pero yung sa
Nakilala akong ganyan.
yung sa, yung sa lower right, pag clinic mo siya, it's what we call the explore button, and it's
Yes.
automatically a Google search
Yeah.
function. May Google search function na
What?
within Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Sobrang wonderful nun kasi hindi mo na kailangan lumabas nung app in order for
Yes.
you to search for something online. So like I think Adrian is showing it right now. So it's the explore button. So once that you click that, you can just type anything and you can actually just
Yeah.
search for something na kailangan mo. Kung kailangan mo mag-add ng photos, you can also do that. Or like for example, this one, I think ang search word ni Sir Adrian dito is star. So ayan, so ang dami mo ng options. And it's very helpful for educators kasi yun nga, hindi mo na kailangan lumabas ng ibang
Correct.
app. Everything
Yes.
is there. Ayan.
Meron since nagbigay naman kayo ng hands-on ng konti, let me add something to it. Sir Adrian, can you please highlight digital citizens, the word digital citizen?
Okay.
Okay, highlight the word digital citizen. Di ba usually, pag gagawa tayo ng hyperlinks, we highlight it, di ba? And then, after highlighting the word digital citizen, wag mo isama yung question mark. So, digital citizens, and then, pag nag-press tayo ng Control K, halalabas na yung ating
Yung link po.
isusupply na natin yung link. Go
Yes.
ahead. Pero,
Ayan.
dyan sa pag-link na yan, hindi mo kailangang i-type lagi yung URL. You can look for a document in your Google Drive that is related to digital citizenship.
Yes.
Or even
Mhm.
search something online. Go ahead. Let's say, type mo, digital citizenship. Hahanap yan ngayon. Kung meron kang related, if you have a document, sheet, or slide na mayroong word na digital citizenship, it will be given to you. If you don't have any, you can search then. So, it's similar to the Explorer. So, yun yung mga,
right.
nandun na siya, integrated na siya. Yun yung sasabi ni Paula, hindi mo na kailangan lumabas, Andyan na siya, integrated na. Di ba? It's the same thing. Yeah. Yan. Kulang talaga. Siguro dapat 3 oras tong session natin.
Oo nga eh.
Hindi ko lang yung hands-on natin.
Ang daming pwedeng i-cover, no? Ang daming pwedeng pag-usapan dito sa ating topic. But at least,
Sir Adrian?
Mm.
Yes. Add ko lang, sir, yung regarding dun sa question natin na how do we engage, how do we engage students? Yun nga po, we are already using online platforms. So, napakarami na pong materials ang available at hand na pwede po talaga nating i-utilize. So, it's on the teacher kung ano po yung mga tools na pwede po niyang gamitin. Depende pa rin sa age level na hinahandle po natin mga estudyante.
Tama po.
And with regards to how we can manage students, siguro po we should also highlight the importance of communication with the parents. Kasi sila po yung ating magiging para-teachers. Hindi po natin kasama physically yung mga bata, And let's say, for example, meron naman po silang mga parents na available sa bahay, we should communicate to the parents na to make sure that the students are really doing their task during the time na dapat po ay tinatapos nila yung kanilang mga school activities. So, yun, Sir Adrian.
Ayun, dagdag ko lang din siguro for the teachers, no, magandang mag-set din tayo sa mga magulang na eto lang po ang oras nung pwede po tayong tumawag
Yes.
or
Yes.
ang hirap
Totoo po
kasi
yan.
na ano,
May
na
may ano ba dito?
tayo
May
next
like
person,
button ba dito?
'di ba?
Yes.
Heart po yan. Big heart.
'Di
Big
ba?
heart.
Kasi ano, lalo na ngayon hindi tayo pwede mag-sick leave, hindi tayo pwede mag-absent kasi parang 'di ba, ang hirap gawin yun ngayon. But, we have to set also rules for the others na ito lang po ang oras and even for weekends. I hope na naintindihan din 'to ng ibang mga admins na sana kapag weekends talagang it's for the teachers to, rest and recharge for the following
Yes.
Yes.
to come. So yun, i-set lang
Sir
natin
Exactly.
yung
Adrian,
oras.
mag-share lang po ako dyan regarding sa weekend. Sa DepEd kasi, sir, ang classes ng
Ah,
mga bata will be from Monday to Saturday.
may
Pero sa
Saturday.
Saturday, teachers are not required to be in the classroom, yun dun sa mga messenger classroom or Google Classroom ng mga bata. Saturday will be allotted for performance tasks. So, yun, sir. So, extended,
Mm.
medyo mas mahaba.
Medyo mas mahaba. The other
Yes, sir.
one, for online engagement for the students, dagdag ko na rin yun, um, kapag nagpapagawa tayo for the students, huwag tayong masyado mag-focus sa mga tanong na dapat nilang sagutin. But it's more of we give more weight on their output sa napoproduce nila. Kasi yun yung mas importante eh. Paano nila natatranslate yung learning into an actual
Mm.
output rather than focusing na
Mhm.
baka magkaroon ng cheating kapag binigay namin
Mm-mm.
yung test
Yes.
questions. The test questions can still be done but siguro less weight on that, more weight
Um,
on the gawa ng
um,
output.
Performances. Sir.
Mm.
I'd,
'Di ba
Sir
po?
Adrian, I'd like to
Yes.
add something to that.
Mm.
Right now, yung tama yung output but I will suggest that the teacher should give more formative assessments because we cannot really say that when we give summative assessment it is cheating free or hindi
Yes.
nag-cheat yung bata.
Yeah.
Now, the
Mhm.
process is important if na-fulfill ba yan. Kasi nga, andun yung learning process. Yun yung mahalaga. Lalo na sa math, di ba? Sabi nga
Yes
kanina
po.
ni
Mhm.
Miss June, yung process is more important than the output. They need to know the
Mhm.
process. So, sa
Yes.
lahat ng subject, I think it is applicable that we have to give more formative assessment than summative assessment.
Mhm.
Kasi sometimes the student is not feeling well when they took the summative assessment. That is why they will fail. But if you will look at the formative assessment, they are doing good, no? So we cannot,
Mm.
it's not conclusive na yun si summative assessment. Yan. Yun lang.
Yes. Agree po.
Ayan. Mm. Then
Correct.
siguro isa pa last na bago tayo mag-next. Last na to talaga. Socio-emotional learning. Kailangan ma-cover natin 'yon sa kahit anong subjects 'yan. Kailangan
Right.
kasi
Ay,
hindi
meron
naman
tayong magandang
tayo
comment kanina, nabasa ko yun, yung
ay eto.
integrating values. Go ahead, please. We have
Iko-connect
to
natin
highlight
'to.
that.
'Yan,
It's
this one,
important that we integrate values and
'yan.
character development as we teach. Something that
Yes.
we can teach them all the theories and principles in different subjects, but what about values that would outlast a lifetime? Kasi nga po, I agree ako dito, Miss Maria Teresa Labajo.
Thank you very much po.
Our values is our first uh, item that we have to impart to our students. The academics is just secondary. Whether this is my opinion, but values are more important than the academics. Kasi ito lang nalulungkot ako kasi may mga magulang na pinipressure yung anak ko dapat to excel. That is why students are doing
Right.
very well because parents are pushing them to be on top. But sometimes it's not healthy for the kids, especially now if we just want them to be academic, yung excellent those academics nila. But in what way? How did they get this excellence
Mm.
or yung A grade nila, no? So yung mga 100 grade niya. So kaya sabi ko important yung process. So how, yun lang. Sige.
Ayan. So, ayun po.
Dagdag ko lang
After
din
that,
yung sa socio-emotional learning na sinasabi ni Sir Adrian. Ano, normally so like for the kids, no. Usually the question is how do you do that for grade school? Kasi I also teach grade school. Sabi ko nga din sa mga teachers namin, you can start by simply, yung sa umaga, kunwari, let's say, or pagpasok nila sa classroom, ask them, like, how's your mood today? Ano yung, or,
mm,
like,
mga
use
mood
Google
check-in.
Forms, mga
Yes.
mood check-ins or mga mood charts na
Correct.
tinatawag. Kasi, you also have to know your students na yung kalagayan nila
Yung,
for the
yeah.
day.
Yeah, their present
Yeah,
state.
kasi puwedeng hindi maganda yung gising ng isang child, or like in the
Yeah.
case of SPED students din, parang merong mga cases na sometimes kahit sa loob ng classroom before, hindi namin malaman kung bakit ba gano'n, and madadala yun, kahit naman online ka. So yun nga, so mood check-ins is very much helpful. Tas at the same time, once that they submit that, let's say naka-mood form ka, tas nag-submit ka submit yung mga students mo using Google Forms, meron na yung timestamp that can also be their attendance. So it's a
Yeah.
two-prong thing. You can
Mhm.
check their attendance, anong oras sila nag-check-in for the mood chart, and at the same time you get to know the condition of your student right then and there. So yun ako naman, yun yung akin.
Kailangan natin
Very
tandaan
important.
na, kapag siyempre we're handling different students na iba-ibang level, pag sobrang bata nung estudyante, we go simple lang. Simple apps, mas de numero. But habang tumataas yung level ng students, mas complex. So, ayun, mas pwede tayong maraming i-introduce na tools or application kapag medyo nasa high school, medyo intermediate level ang mga students. And then
Yeah.
we
Sir
can also
Adrian,
go with
Sir Adrian, ay
yes
sorry.
po. Mm,
Sir, idadagdag ko lang yung importance ng pagbibigay ng exit ticket. Maganda din yun.
Yes.
Yes.
Agree.
tama
Yan.
po.
Right.
Di ba po? Hmm.
So talagang ano, 'yun, pwede nating gamitin 'yun and then pwede tayong hindi puro words. So let's say for kids, pwede tayong more on image.
Uh,
Like let's say iba-ibang, muka na iba-ibang emotion from 1 to
Mhm.
10 gano'n. 'Di ba merong sa medical,
Ah, ah,
field merong Wong-Baker scale,
ah.
pipili ka ano
Mhm.
ang mood niya. So puwedeng gano'n. Puwedeng gano'n yung strategy natin. Puwedeng
Mhm.
hindi tayo puro words. At least
Yes.
we have different ways to engage our students and still make it, visually, impactful.
So
Other
Adrian,
mm.
yes
meron
po.
magandang paki-highlight yung ating comment from Miss Floramante
Oh,
Dupale, no?
ayan.
Addition lang po, pwede sa assessment ay performance task-based, either individual, collaboration, dyad, or group, no? Maganda to kasi they need to connect with
Mm,
fellow students. Kasi to
mm,
address their mental health, andun pa rin yung sense of
yes.
normalcy if they are working with their classmates. Hindi lang yung puro individual. Very
Mm,
important for them to connect with their classmates kasi baka nabubugnot na yan sa bahay. So at least when they do
mm,
something as a group, they have this outlet. Ano? Kasi hindi natin alam yung sitwasyon ng lahat ng bata sa bahay.
tama po.
So, para may sense of normalcy pa rin. Kaya importante pa rin naka-enroll ang bata sa school kahit na online. No?
Mm.
Yeah.
Magdagdag
So,
din
yun.
ako, sana hindi din natin isipin, I
Mm.
think this is for all teachers, and parents, na sana hindi isipin na nasa disadvantage side tayo ng learning dahil we have to do it online.
Mhm.
Pero these are we also have to take advantage of the situation that, meron pa ring skills, important skills na dapat matutunan ng students, ang mga
Mhm.
bata when it comes to this. Um, Dahil disrupted ang normal activities like playing with their classmates, yung recitation, yung mga ganyan or yung normal na ginagawa.
Mhm.
We make use of like creating videos, creating posters, more on reflections and
Yes, yes.
other Google tools that
Mhm.
increases their collaboration, creativity,
Yes.
Mhm.
Agree.
ano pa ba yun,
Right.
communication and critical thinking. Madaming
Mhm.
skills ang covered nito. Hindi lang, walang matututunan yung mga anak ko dito kasi lahat online or
Kasi
gano'n.
ganyan.
Pero,
Um,
'di
ah,
ba?
Gusto ko idagdag tong ano no, tong next comment ni Miss Mag's Journey. Hope
Ayan.
this school year teachers will not encourage competition instead of collaboration.
Yes.
Gusto kong
Yes.
idugtong yan kasi tayo
Correct. Ganda
ang
yan.
concern kasi nating mga teachers, paano natin i-grade? Take note, requirement lang yung grade. Pero as much as
Mm.
possible, we don't measure them with numbers.
Yes.
We have to trust our students kasi they have to be honest. Sino bang niloloko nila kapag nag-cheat sila, no? So what is
Mhm.
important is the process. They learn something,
Yes.
yes or no? Kaya maganda din sa kanina, yung para ma-evaluate din natin sila, we can ask for yung group rating, yung i-group nila yung
Mhm.
performance nila. So based on the output na makikita nyo, sila mismo ni-rate
Right.
nila yung performance nila. So that's another way of assessment. Kasi nga, hindi natin masasabing
Mm.
free. Tapos sa kanila na lang galing, yung pag-grade lang ng yon, merong reflection na sila doon. So you can gauge also kung ano yung grade na may bibigay sa kanila. Yun lang. Yan.
Ang dami. Natutuwa ako. Nakakatuwa yung ating session
Discussion.
tonight. Ang dami nating input.
Sir
I mean,
Adrian, may add lang ako dun sa sinabi ni Sir Gary na
Gary.
with regards to
Sir,
grade.
wait lang
Yes, sir.
Patanggal na yung banner natin, hindi ko makita sa
Ay,
Miss Paula.
oo nga.
Ayan.
Dapat pala,
Sige,
sorry.
Sir Alvin.
Ayan.
Gusto ko po yung nabanggit ni Miss June sa akin kahapon lang in our conversation na in this school year, lalo na po sa case namin sa public school, we are grading students' privilege.
Yes.
Kasi ang
Mhm.
nangyayari, not all students have the same access to all these materials. So, siguro po dapat medyo mas maging lenient tayo ng konti. Let's try to sympathize with their situation. And wag po tayo masyadong strict pa din as what we usually do sa normal face-to-face na classroom kasi hindi po talaga ganun yung situation natin ngayon.
Yes, agree,
Yes,
sir.
agree. Yan.
Agree.
Okay.
Ayan. So, I think we have one more question before this one.
Yeah.
How can we help students become good digital citizens?
Sige, ako
Um,
mag-start ulit.
Sige.
Very simple lang yan. Kasi noon naman nung lumaki ako, kasi ako pinakatanda talaga dito, Nung lumaki ako, ang sinasabi lang sa amin, I'm proud ako pa public school, Nung grade school ako, ang sabi sa amin, observe the golden rule. So, what you want to do to what you want to do, just observe the golden rule. Kasi, halimbawa, yung digital citizenship, ano ba yung dapat behavior ng bata online, 'di ba? Ngayon, ibalik natin yan sa walang technology. So, ano yung dapat ugali ng bata? So, ikaw ba magsasalita ka ng hindi maganda sa kapwa mo? 'Di ba? So, ayaw mo nang hindi ka ayaw mo nang minumura ka or ayaw mo nang inaalipusta ka. Meron ka mga bagay na ayaw at gusto mo. So, kung ano yung ayaw mo at gusto mo, huwag mong gawin sa iba. Gawin natin online. Ganun din ang behavior natin dapat. Hindi na iiba ang behavior natin dapat sa real world sa online. Kaso nga lang, when it comes to digital world, parang naging confident lahat. Naging uso ngayon yung #humble brag. Wow, no. So, yun yung naging disadvantage lang ng digital world. Naging confident ang lahat, At lahat may say sa lahat ng bagay. At hindi na, minsan nagsasalita kasi ng mga bagay na hindi na dapat. At minsan, kung tatanungin mo siya, kaya bang sabihin yan face-to-face with the person, siguro makakapag-isip sila. No? So, kahit tayong adult, ganun din tayo . Let's look at our Facebook post or Twitter post. Sasabihin mo ba yan sa ibang tao? Nang wala na, kung gusto, nag-meet kayo ng friends mo, ng barkada mo, mag-a-announce ka ba, uy, meron akong bagong relo. Uy, meron akong bagong bahay. Ganun, hello. Yan. Yun lang. So, we have to go back to basic and then let's apply it online. Yun lang. Para maging
Ako
good
naman,
citizen.
it's
I'd
more
also like to, sige, Sir Adrian, go.
Sige, kayo muna. Ladies first.
Sige. Alright. Thank you po. Ako siguro, gusto ko lang mag-second dun sa sinabi ni Sir Gary. Kasi nga, tayo, educators tayo eh. So, hindi din natin may
Oo.
iwasan that, students would actually follow us in our social media accounts. And at the same time, meron din tayong mga colleagues, yung mga boss natin. I mean, hindi natin maiwasan yung principal natin, yung yung board ng school, diba? Ipa-follow ka. I mean,
Yes.
you have to also present yourself in a manner na hindi naman din kapuna-puna kumbaga. You should be well behaved also when you are online. And at the same time kasi true pa rin yung kasabihan natin na kung ano yung ginagawa ng matanda, yun din ang gagawin ng bata. So
Correct.
imagine that if our students would see something like, let's say if we're posting let's say a rant about work, or we are
Mm.
posting something about yung yung rants mo in life, 'di ba, na
Yeah.
mataas ang kuryente or something like that, our students would see that, and wag tayong magtataka kung later on yung mga estudyante din natin would be the same. So we
Yeah.
have to be good models.
Yes.
Role
Actually,
model.
Agree.
question, tayo, we have to be careful as educators. Hindi pwedeng yung biglang, ano ka lang, just because you feel like saying it, 'di ba? Ibulong mo na lang sa ibulong mo na lang siguro sa
Sa puno.
upuan mo.
Sa upuan.
Hindi, wag
Oo.
sa puno kasi sabi nila, 'di ba, pag sa puno mo binulong, maririnig daw ng hangin, tas dadalhin daw, hindi, joke lang.
Kaya importante yung sinabi kanina ni Miss Maria Teresa Labaca na we have to integrate values. So, very, very
Yes.
important
Oo,
yan. Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Ano rin,
Okay.
teachers, we have to be careful also with what we are correlating. Ano tawag doon? When we correlate things to our subjects, baka kasi we're also giving them ano tawag doon? Baka we might be opening doors or portals to some of their interests na hindi naman pala dapat. For example,
Mhm.
baka naglalaro kayo ng ML, ano yan, o ibang mga games, pero relate mo sa subject mo. Yun pala, hindi naman pala alam ng students ang ML, pero dahil binanggit mo,
Oo.
biglang nagka-interest. Yung mga
Ay,
ganong
ito
bagay,
na.
no? Kasi
Tama.
leveling
Ah,
din yan eh. So, ingat tayo doon sa mga
Oo,
examples
yung
at
mga
yung mga
sasabihin.
info. Opo.
Sir
Yan.
Adrian, pwede mo sumingin ulit kasi ayokong sisingit pero alam mo, may mga online observation ko.
Mm-mm.
Wag natin yung mga dapat as teachers we have to we have to monitor kung ano ba tawag, sasalain natin yung sasabihin natin kasi for example, you don't say something that is not appropriate for their age. For example, I observed a class na online class na okay, the teacher is talking about how to compose an email and then parts of composing an email, no? So meron dong to CC, BCC, and then yung sa CC, meron sinabi niya curious cat. Ako hindi ko alam. When I
Oops.
oh, now you know what I'm saying. Hindi ko siya alam. First time ko narinig yung ting! Hello! Ayun. So, yun. What the heck? Curious cat, CC. Dapat hindi mo na binigyan ng term na gano'n kasi yung mga bata, grade school yun eh. Tipong, ayun. So, we have to know as teachers, please, utang na loob mga teachers kasi po ang magulang. Huwag po kayo magbibigay ng idea. Yung mga sasabihin nyo, be careful with what you will say online kasi hindi natin siya ma-erase, Tatatak sa kanila kaagad yan.
Lalo
Katulad sa
na may
sabi ni
mga
Sir Eden
parents
na
tayo
ML.
na umaalalay sa mga students. So, yung mga parents
Mhm.
natin are just there sa gilid or baka sa likod.
Mhm.
Right.
We have to be
Oo.
careful.
Mhm.
Pero yun, kahit wala yung magulang tayo ang teacher,
Mm.
dapat we should know
Yeah.
better.
Totoo, totoo.
Tama po. Tama po.
Kaya kita yun, nung sinabi ko pa lang yung CC, alam niyo, oops! Yun lang. You have to be careful.
Totoo po yan. At, ayan. So,
Siguro, Sir
um,
Adrian,
mm-mm.
in regards dito sa question, how can we help students become good digital citizenship? Siguro, alam ko medyo gasgas na yung linya na to, pero always think before you click. Yan po talaga
Yeah.
siguro
Yeah,
yung kailangan
I
nating
agree.
tandaan na since they are exposed to using all these online materials, these online platforms, baka mamaya hindi natin monitor kung saan na pa sila nagpupunta. So we should always tell them to think before they click and access all these files, all these websites, all these resources na available sa kanila. Kasi kapag po halimbawa hindi natin sila nagabayan, then medyo magiging delikado po tayo sa kung ano na yung mga information na makukuha nila. They might even believe wrong information. So, kailangan salain din po natin yun.
Ayan po.
Okay.
Ayan. So, I think yun na. Mukhang yun po yung ating session.
Oh, yung 1 hour natin,
Actually,
naging 2 hour
yung
session. Bitin
yung
na
1
bitin.
hour natin naging 2
Opo.
hours. Pero actually, baka kasi, Sir Gary, isa sa mga pinress release natin na will be inviting, will
Oo
be,
nga
baka lang,
Kasi
oo
ang kulang na pala ng oras, kahit 2 oras na tayo.
oo,
Parang
baka kasi
sandali
may
lang siya.
nag-e-expect.
Kasi maganda yung
But,
maganda kasi yung
ano,
topic natin.
ayan,
Aha.
Sir Gary,
Ah,
or siguro just maybe a quick 2 minutes
Sige,
siguro?
go ahead.
Sige.
Sino ba? Meron pa tayo dyan?
This one is just for the participants. Baka lang kasi sabihin hindi natin tinupad
Oo nga
yung ating
Kasi sarap ng
in-announce.
usapan natin. Next time, 3 hours ang gawin nating
Oo,
session.
next time 3
Oo nga.
hours. Pero last time po,
Oras.
siguro we'll be opening our virtual rooms with the audience. So paunahan po
Yes.
ito. If you want to participate, ito po, this is the link. So streamyard.com/PA5RYQEK48.
Sir
Sorry.
Adrian, can you copy and paste it in the comments area
Okay,
so
tama.
mas mabilis sa
Yeah.
kanila? At
So,
habang
ito po. So,
nag-aantay
po
tayo.
ito, pinakamabilis po so you'll have a chance to interact with us and maybe ask
Yes.
more
Say
questions.
hi and then give some tips.
Opo,
Hopefully, give some tips.
ayan.
Go ahead.
That
So,
would be
i-open po namin
cool.
ng room
We can
for,
accept for viewers, right? 4 viewers.
I think 6 na, ay,
4.
1,
Sorry, 5 pa.
4,
5 pa.
isa na
1,
lang.
2, 3, 4, 5. Hindi, 5.
Ayan.
Because sabi ni StreamYard,
10 na
in-expanded
daw.
na yung 10 na. Yes. Oo.
Okay.
Sige, please join us in the live stream by clicking the comments provided in the chat area by Sir Adrian. We'd like to hear you. Also,
Pwede po
share
kayong,
your tips for educators, fellow educators.
yes.
Yan. Sige, while we are waiting, Sir Adrian, ano pa ba yung mga tayo dyan?
Siguro,
Okay.
actually,
While waiting for them, please, you can connect with us. Ako, si Sir Adrian po, no? This is his channel. Ako po ay meron din. Sir Adrian, pakikano naman dyan. Ayan,
ayan.
So, EdTech and Beyond. So, www.youtube.com, or you can look at YouTube. You can just type EdTech and Beyond. Nandun po para sa mga teachers na ano pa yung gagawin na or paano gamitin yung isang GC tools. I have created short clips, video clips for you to learn in a short span of time a specific topic. And there are also webinars we conducted last April. Lalo na po sa mga teacher, sa science teacher, social studies teacher, nandyan po yung kay Nathan Gildart. We discuss about Google Earth. Nandun din po si Sir Adrian, we also have coding. Andun po yung si Seti, at saka si James. So, andyan po. Just explore the channel, EdTech and Beyond.
So, we have we have a lot of resource speakers from locally and internationally. Kung gusto ninyong ibang timpla, marami po tayong videos or webinars na ginawa in the past, lalo na nung nag-start yung ECQ. So, pwede nyo
Yan po
po
yung
website,
effort
Sir Gary,
natin.
website and YouTube channel. The other one is you can go in or ano nga to? You can visit bit.ly/Philippines.
GEG Philippines.
Makikita nyo
Yan.
po lahat ng mga content.
Nandun lahat ng videos namin ni Sir Adrian at ng iba pa, no?
So bit.ly/GG Philippines. Meron Meron din dyan si Miss Paula,
Tsaka si Sir
nag-webinar.
Alvin din, meron din.
Alvin, nag-webinar
Yeah.
din. Oo. Miss June, in our channel, yung recent, yung last June, no? Tama ba? Or May? So, yun yung webinar naman namin on creating Bitmojis and slide presentations. The other one,
Oh,
ayan, meron na. May participant na tayo. I'll be
sige.
adding.
Yay!
So, sige, while we
Nice.
are waiting kay
Ayan,
Miss Paula, ano yung sa'yo?
ayan po.
Oh, Sir Adrian, tanggalin mo na yung ating yung ating
Oo.
slide para mas lumaki-laki naman yung mga mukha natin.
Okay.
Okay,
Ayan.
so we have Teacher Rhea, Teacher Rhea or Rhea?
Rhea. Ayan po.
Teacher Rhea.
Hello
Ay,
po, good evening.
Naka-mute si Teacher Rhea.
Oo, medyo shy pa yata siya.
Opo.
Oo.
Bakit
Paula,
unmute?
Miss
Hi,
Paula.
Chair.
Ayan, okay.
Hello
Good
po.
evening po.
Hi, Miss.
Hello po.
Yes, Teacher Rhea. Pwede po bang sabihin niyo kung saan kayo nagtuturo at anong subject ninyo? At
Sa
ano
Cornerstone po.
okay.
Cornerstone.
Teacher Rhea ng Cornerstone.
Hello.
Ayan. Meron po ba kayong tip para sa ating audience?
Ano po?
Meron po ba kayong tip or gustong sabihin sa ating audience?
Kagaya po ng nung laging tinuturo po sa amin ni Teacher Paula. Unang-una po talaga, we set, tawag dito, magsiset po talaga dapat ng rules in the beginning kasi lahat po, bago po sa lahat to, sa student at maging po sa teachers. Kung hindi mo na po isiset yung expectation in the beginning, mahihirapan ka po throughout your online class. Saka laging prepare din po dapat yung mga tools na gagamitin mo. Yun nga po na isipin mo lagi kung kaya ba to ng bata. Isipin mo yung sitwasyon nila sa bahay. Hindi lang yung kaya ni teacher, kung ano yung kayang gawin ni teacher, lahat yon. Kailangan yung kaya ng bata. Kasi kapag offline class na po, hindi mo sila nakikita hindi mo alam kung nahihirapan ba sila, ganyan. Kasi yung iba mahihiya po yung magtanong, mangulit.
Yes, very good. Ayan po. No. Okay, salamat po.
Ayan, thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Teacher Rhea.
Salamat po. Ayan, baka meron pa po. While waiting, no, Sir Alvin.
Go ahead, Sir Alvin.
Plug po.
Yung Brigada Eskwela ng DepEd.
Ay, naka-mute si Sir Alvin.
Ay, sorry po. Ayan. Ipa-plug ko lang po sana yung aming Brigada Eskwela. Sir, mag-share lang ako ng screen sandali
Sure.
Okay lang, sir. Ito po. So, let me share the posters. Ito po ang DepEd po, together with all the public schools sa NCR and the entire Philippines. Kami po ay under ngayon ng Brigada Eskwela. Ito po. So, we have projects like donation. Nakikita po ba, sir?
There.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
There.
Yan.
Ayan. So, meron po kaming mga activities like a donation drive. So, you can donate your old smartphones or any devices that you have to learners that are in need. This will help them for them to participate also sa mga activities din po na mangyayari for the upcoming school year. So, you may contact me po through my Facebook, Alvin Barzo Balaba. If you have spare smartphones na hindi nyo na po nagagamit sa inyo pong mga bahay. And also, ito pa Sir Adrian, sorry, last na po ito. Aside from the devices po, we are also open for donations katulad po ng mga hygiene kits na gagamitin po sa schools for the upcoming school year. Also, open din po kami sa pag-accept ng mga donations like printers, ink, papers, and the rest. So, again, you can contact me po through my Facebook, Alvin Barzo Balaba. This will be for the benefit of our students in Santo Niño National High School, Parañaque National High School, Santo Niño. Shout out po sa mga students and teachers from Parañaque National High School, Santo Niño with our school head, Mr. Angelo D. Armas. Thank you, sir. Thank you, teachers.
Sumama na ako.
Mm,
Ayan. Thank you. Thank you,
Sorry,
Sir
Ayan.
William H.
Alvin. Ayan.
Yan.
So we
Yes,
have
sir.
another one. Last po. Pasensya na. Next time, dadamihan natin. So
Ah,
we'll call in Mags. Good
Max,
evening
okay,
po.
okay na ating
Max.
Hi,
Hello.
evening
Hello
po.
Hello,
po.
good
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 evening.
evening
evening.
po.
Yes,
Ma'am,
I'm
can
from
you share
Learning
your
Journey,
details?
Child Growth Center. And nagtuturo din ako from preschool to grade 6. Bali, I own a small school. And nag-end yung summer class namin yesterday, no? So, nakita ko na napakaganda
Kumusta
ng
po?
online, basta handa ang teacher. And
Okay.
especially, I learned na kailangan you start with yung bang mag-exercise sila. Kasi what we did, yung nagkaroon kami ng workout, no? Every day may workout. Yun yung kanilang palaging gusto nilang gumising na maaga because we started our class at 7:30. So, mga aga pa lang, minsan nauna pa sa room, no? Nauna pa sila dun sa
Excited
nagugulat
sila, no?
sila na nag-a-accept sa amin, ganon. So, siguro ang isa sa ma-realize natin, we need to be there earlier than what we told them na yun ang oras. Then secondly, dapat yung collaborative talaga yung learning nila. Kasi ang ginawa namin, we see to it na may breakout room sila. So, hindi yung sangkaterbang bata. Ginawa namin 2x2s muna. Then, excited sila, tapos nagko-collaborate sila. At nakita ko naging meaningful sa kanila yung learning nila this summer. Naghihingi pa nga ng extension. Sabi ko, hindi nakakayanin kasi we need to prepare for this coming school year. So, ang kailangan lang talaga, the teacher should be prepared. No, palaging handa. Tsaka, alam niya kung ano yung mga ugali ng mga estudyante niya. Meron din po kaming ginawa na kapag ang estudyante hindi nagbe-behave properly, mayroong isa kaming breakout na doon namin siya lalagyan, tapos kakausapin namin siya. Tsaka napaka-imposible na ikaw lang mag-isa, na ikaw lahat, ikaw yung slide, ikaw lahat. Pagka may batang ikaw pa rin yung magsasabi na, tumahimik muna kayo, makinig kayo. Kasi mauubos ang oras mo sa kakapahinto sa kanila. Kaya ang ginawa namin, dalawa palagi. Yung isa, nakabantay, siya yung nag-aayos ng kung sino ang magsasalita muna, minumute lahat ng bata, tapos siya rin yung nag-aayos ng tawag dito yung nga, nagbe-breakout room, siya rin ang nag-aayos nun. So, ang teacher, pati yung slide, yung isang teacher, kaya may teacher 1, teacher 2. Yung teacher 2, siya yung nag-aantabay, no? Siya yung palaging, kung sakali
technical
magkaroon ng problema sa online, biglang nasira yung
Yes,
nag-log,
teacher
no?
one.
Nagkaroon ng problema, siya yung sasapo. Kaya, sana magkaroon tayo ng parang collaborative din yung teaching natin. Huwag kang nag-iisa. Mahirap talaga.
Tama.
Nakita ko napakahirap. So, thank you po.
Thank you
You're
very
welcome po.
much,
Salamat po.
Thank you po.
Max.
Uh,
Maraming salamat po. Sobrang
substantial.
opo, tama po. Yung tip po na nabanggitin niyo and your best practice. Actually, naalala ko din yung ginagawa namin ni Miss June tsaka ni Sir Alvin kasi we're training teachers in different schools in adapting distance learning. So, ang
Mm,
ginagawa namin talaga as much as possible kung bakante naman kami, dalawahan, saluhan
mhm,
kami kasi puwedeng magkaroon ng technical problem along the way. Nangyari sa'min ni Sir
Yes.
Alvin, I can't project my screen but my audio is there. So he had
mhm,
to project the screen for me the whole 4 hours. So yung mga gano'n, even with Miss June, gano'n din kami. So nagkakataon din na dati, talagang may back to back to back training kami but, we make sure na kapag wala naman masyado, nagsasaluhan kami. Iba yun, eh. Iba yung feeling na
tama.
meron kang, another person na
May
to be with
kasama
you
ka,
just
sir.
in case lang
Yeah.
may
Tama.
mangyari. Tama po yun. So ayun,
Tsaka, ang
Um,
naano ko pa dun sa
mm,
mga teachers ko, sabi ko sa kanila, you need to give your best. You need to show you are really great. Kasi hindi lang bata ang kasama mo. Especially we are
yung
in the
lower
private
grade.
schools na po.
Nandiyan
Yung
na sila ang
masaya
magulang.
na sa public school. Pero kami sa private school, kasiraan ng school yung makita yung teacher na hindi maayos pagka humarap. So, katabi palagi nila yung parents, napapansin namin. Kaya, yun, talagang bago magsimula, pinapractice ng mga teachers yung sasabihin nila. Nakascript, may script sila.
Mm.
So, scripted lahat kasi baka magkamali sila ng sasabihin sa
Yeah,
bata,
very
no, yung pronunciation, mali, ganon. So, lahat pinapractice namin.
Opo, tama.
So,
Yeah.
thank you.
po.
Thank you
Thank
very much,
you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Miss
Thank you
Mags.
po.
Miss
That's
Mag. Maraming
Welcome.
those are
salamat po
really
sa
good
pag-participate.
insights. Yeah.
Opo.
Oo.
Next time ulit.
Opo.
Sige.
Ayan po. Opo,
Bye.
tama yun. Sige po, bye-bye. Yun nga. So, ang dami, no? So,
Oo.
um, sa totoo lang, pwede po muna natin to i-script muna, but eventually kapag nasanay na tayo, we can slowly deviate from the scripts. But for now,
Yes.
we really have to give our best. Kumbaga,
Oo.
para din 'tong isang palabas
Yes.
na kailangan i-maintain natin. This is the airtime. We have to give our best. We have to make sure that we really
Pra-
maximize the time for teaching
Correct.
and, you know,
Tapos,
mm,
lots of practice, yun na lang. Ano?
yes,
Practice,
lots of
practice,
practice.
practice.
Totoo talaga,
Yan.
practice talaga po. So, ayan
Yes.
po. So, with
Practice
that,
makes perfect.
practice makes
Yeah.
perfect. Sabi din ni Miss June, ano yung favorite line nyo, Miss June, about that?
Alin, sir?
Di ba?
Ang dami na
Pero
sinabi.
oo, talagang yung laging pinapractice,
Practice
no?
key, diba? Yun
Ano nga?
lagi nasabi, sir. Practice is
Mm,
key. Mga trainees.
yun. Talagang
Mm.
yun talaga eh. Kailangan para eventually masanay din po tayo. Again, with that, I think this is our longest
Oo.
webinar natin. At
Very
maraming
fruitful ang
salamat
discussion
sa
natin, sir.
lahat na nag-participate.
Maraming
Lahat
salamat
na
po.
nakikinig. Maraming salamat po. No, hopefully, in the next few weeks, months, meron pa po kaming mga webinars na darating.
Yes.
So, kapit lang
Yeah.
po. Siguro, before we end, final plug from the teachers. Miss Paula.
Sige. Very quick lang. Sir Adrian, can I share my screen? I
Okay.
just also really want to commend our teachers. So, this is one of the biggest achievements not only
Yay.
of our school but also of GEG
Wow.
Ortigas. So, congratulations po sa school namin, Cornerstone Christian Academy.
Congratulations.
Kasi talagang naghirap yung mga teachers namin to prepare for the new normal situation. So congratulations and many many thanks of course sa help ng mga GEGs, especially Sir Gary tsaka si Adrian. They're very helpful when I ask questions, they accommodate. So yan, so maraming salamat po. And also, please follow me on Twitter. So I usually tweet so I usually tweet on Twitter my ano ba yan? Sabi niya what's new. Okay. So my Twitter account is
Oh.
teacher_pau. Ayan. So I usually tweet about what I do in the classroom or how I prepare for my online classes. And then at the same time, I also code a bit. So yun ang ituturo ko ngayong year na to. Kaya meron akong mga tweets dyan
Yeah.
about coding and classroom management and marami din akong personal learning network. So ayan, yung mga bitmojis ko dyan ko nilalagay. So follow me because I usually give out some tech tips also in my own Twitter page. So yun lang po. Maraming salamat
Thank
sa
you, Miss Paula.
GEG. Yes.
Tsaka teachers, yung Twitter, no, baka hindi natin pinapansin, pero very good tool yun for in connecting with other teachers, learning best practices. Mas marami nga lang sa with other international teachers, pero sana mga Pinoys, we encourage everybody to use Twitter, not just for, for interacting with our friends or the entertainment, but it's more of connecting with other teachers for best practices. Napakaganda po ng Twitter.
Right.
Ayan. Miss June, ayan
Sir,
po.
ako naman po, I hope to come up with my own YouTube channel soon. May pangalan na po siya.
Yes.
Yay!
Lalakas po yung loob ko to make my videos. But I already have a name. It's June's Circle. Explain ko na lang sa video kung bakit yun yung name. And then I'd also like to give a shout out to the teachers from my former school, Veritas Catholic School, the pioneer in sa atin sina Miss Abby, sila Sir Joel, si
Mm-mm.
Astra. Thank you very much for watching. And of course, I'd also like to give a shout out to all the teachers in my school now, St. Joseph Academy. Thank you po.
Thank you very much po. Ayan, so abangan niyo si Miss June sa kanyang talagang ano no. So it's more of the content would be more on math. Tama po?
Yes,
Mga
sir.
instructional videos. Ayan. Just flashing lang some parts. Ayan, from Sir Joel Castillo, sabi niya, shout out, you need to have a clear DLP rules, policies, and guidelines, also to protect teachers and students. So, very valid, tama po yan. Maraming salamat for participating. And also, Sir Jonas Harold Denso, that's true. In our school, we opted to craft a new set of online guidelines to protect our teachers and students while abiding the data privacy. Ayan po. Again, maraming salamat po, Sir Gary. Ay, Sir
Yes.
Alvin. Sir Alvin, may
Final,
final
sir.
thought? Ayan.
Ako rin po, I'm coming up with my new TikTok account. Pero wag po kayong mag-alala.
Yes.
Ito pong TikTok account na ito
Ayan.
ay hindi lang siya sa pagsasayaw. Hindi, it gives you a 1-minute video about history. So, ang pangalan po niya is His to Class. His to Class.
Wow.
So, I will be coming up with 1-minute videos po with regards to history for every day. So, yun po. Follow nyo na lang po if you have TikTok accounts.
Thank you very much. Ayan. Follow nyo si Sir Alvin. Ayan. More on economics, araling panlipunan, ang content.
Yes, sir.
Tama po. So,
Pero yung
ano
content,
tayo?
sir, ng TikTok ay history.
History. Ayan.
Yes,
Then,
Very
Sir
nice.
Gary. Ayan.
Ako din. Kasi nagsishare ko yung screen. Ako din mag-share ng screen. Ano?
Okay.
Ito yung channel ko, EdTech and Beyond. On August 3, my wife and I are both teachers and we'll be having a seminar or webinar about guidelines on distance education for families. So if we are talking about this as teachers, on August 3, parents naman po ang inaanyayahan namin sa isang webinar to talk about how as parents can prepare for distance education. Ano? So yung mga dapat ihanda ng ating mga anak at ano magagawa natin bilang magulang para sa ating mga anak. Ayan po. Tapos nandun din po ako sa Twitter. Ayan po, my latest post, ayan po, via 20. Ayan po. So just like Miss Paula, I also use Twitter. Very good to use Twitter because you learn a lot. Si Twitter po, makikita dyan more on professional development. We have to grow our professional learning network. Kung Pilipinas po ay mukha tayong Facebook, si Twitter po, ginawa ko siyang more on educational, ano? So si Facebook ko na mukhang personal dati, ngayon professional na rin kasi ayun, we have to set good example. Ayan po. Yun lang.
Thank you very much, Sir Gary. Ayan, follow nyo si EdTech and Beyond for more content. Ayan. And ako naman po,
Pinoy na
I'll be
Pinoy
promoting
content.
Ayan, I'll be promoting my channel. So it's called Look Beyond the Classroom kung saan po kayo nanonood ngayon. So you can follow and like and subscribe to know or watch more content. So gumagawa po ako ng content on different digital tools that you can apply and use for your respective classrooms. And may mga iba-iba akong team. So abangan nyo po tonight. Tonight po lalabas po ang episode 7 or episode 8. It's called Teacher versus Google Classroom. So this is the first part
Nice.
of it. So
Okay.
ayan, abangan po
Very
ninyo.
nice team,
So,
sir.
Sir
it's,
Adrian, meron lang
yes.
nagtatanong. Tinatanong niya kung paano daw makaka-join dun sa webinar. Follow me on Facebook, Gary Garcia. Hanapin niyo lang po yung pangalan na Gary Garcia. Nakapink po ako ng polo. Ayan. So, makikilala niyo po ako yun kasi isa lang naman po ang mukha ko. Ano? My posts are public, kaya po makikita niyo. So, if you want to join, I have posts there about the August 3 webinar for this guidelines on education for distance learning for parents, for families.
Ayan po.
Yan.
Maraming
Salamat
salamat.
po.
But then, the other one, kung may mga teachers po, schools na nanonood pa rin po hanggang ngayon, if you want your school, your teachers to be trained, just approach us, message us, and
Yeah.
we will address or cater to your needs. Ayan, to help
Yeah.
you transition to digital learning. With that, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nood.
Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng
Thank you
speakers
Paalam
for
very
po.
much
tonight.
po.
I hope this will not be the last time, no?
Next time
Again,
naman
Definitely.
Yes,
natin.
sir.
I enjoyed
Definitely come
this
back and join
tonight
you.
session. Talagang
Yes.
um, power ang gabing ito.
Oo.
Again, maraming salamat po.
Paalam.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Maraming
night.
Good night,
salamat.
Good night,
guys.
everyone.
Ulitin
Thank
po.
you.
Mabuhay ang mga guro ng Pilipinas.
Bye,
Yes.
everyone. Good
Mabuhay po.
night.
Mabuhay.
Bye-bye.